Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my IWN YouTube channel. I'm IWN. This is your WWE 2022 Crown Jewel review. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can add me on Snapchat. The links to all of my accounts are in the description below. I also have your WWE and AEW Saturday night news that we are going to go over after review. I hope everybody's having a good evening. I hope you're having a good evening as well, Hassan. I don't know why you expect me to say hey. I don't always say hey all the time. You should know that. You're my YouTube moderator. But I hope you're doing all right. I hope everybody is having a good rest of their weekend. We're gonna get started with the review here in a minute. I gotta do a few things here. Number one, I gotta fix the background. Yeah, number two, I gotta make sure everything's working before we get started with the review. So give me a few seconds, guys. Okay, come on. Come on. Yes and no. I had a little argument with my mother before the stream. So you can imagine how that was. I'm just tired of my parents talking to me like I'm a 15-year-old. Like, dude, clearly I'm 23 years old. I'm an adult. I'm tired of being treated like a kid. You know? It's ridiculous. Like, stop treating me like a kid and start treating me like a fucking adult. Really. That's all I ask my parents to do. Stop treating me like I'm a kid and start treating me like a fucking adult. Arguing with my mother, man. You know how parents are, man. So that's the problem with these grown people, man. They think they know everything. They don't always know everything. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, really. Some of these old people need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. Really. Shut the fuck up and listen to what a young person has to fucking, man. That's all, man. Like, for real. You know what I got to say? Why don't you come to my fucking house fucking face? And we can fight it right out. Right fucking all life. Somebody wrote me and they can all they got to do is find my address and we can fight it right out right in front of my house. Not into people's bullcrap, man. I'm really not. Really not. What is this thing doing? What is this thing doing, dude? What is it doing? Guys, I'm just about ready to start the review, man. I gotta fix my background, man. Something isn't right with my background. It's got something sticking out on the bottom, and I'm trying to get it, you know, where it's not showing. It doesn't look right like that. No. What is it? Why did this thing cut off? My man. There we go. Okay, finally. Now I got background, and we'll be good to go. I'll be able to start the review for you guys. Be able to go over the review and give you all my thoughts on Crown Jewel. By the way, Crown Jewel was a very, very good pay-per-view. It was one of the best pay-per-views that we haven't got in a long, long time. Now, the only two things that I didn't like on this pay-per-view was, number one, the end with the match between Brock Lesnar and Bob Lashley. I appreciate that ending. That ending was fucking garbage. It was absolutely awful. Absolutely, at the bottom of the barrel, complete, utterly garbage. And number two, Braun Strowman versus Omos. I didn't like that either. That match was awful. Absolutely awful. I didn't like it. I hope this is the end of the Braun Strowman and Omos, because I don't want to see it at WrestleMania 39. I really don't. Nobody wants to see a match like that at WrestleMania 39. Like, for real. They need to get their minds out of the gutter with that. Seriously. WWE does. Because nobody wants to watch it. All right? But anyways, guys, I got the background fixed. We're ready. I'm ready to start the review. So let's go ahead and get to it. And let's get some more audience in here, guys. And I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit the like button on the stream. This is going to be a very, very view. It's not going to be bad at all. Mine's all right. My mind has been in a bad mood the last few days, man. It hasn't been good. It's like when you want to have somebody always ruin a bad day. You know? It's ridiculous. It really is. You never have a good day without somebody negative talking back to you or saying something, running their mouth. All I'm saying is just shut the fuck up and listen. It's that simple. People, I don't know why people love to talk over me, man. It's not right. It don't make no sense. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get to the Crown Jewel review. The show opened up with a video package narrated by Titus O'Neil. And then a pyro shut off on the stage and around the top of the open air venue. I hope you're listening, Hassan. I hope everybody is listening, because this is a review. This is an actual review. This is not no fake review. Michael and Wayne Barron in on commentary from ringside. So Cole introduced the Arabic broadcast team, who spoke briefly from the desk next to Cole and Barron. Bobby Lashley made his entrance. Video package recapped his recent history with Brock Lesnar, who then made his entrance. Mike Romey was the ring announcer. I just told you, Hassan. We got Brock Lesnar versus Lashley. Before Lesnar took his lap around the ring, Lashley went to ringside and ran him into the ring steps. Lesnar sold a knee injury. Lashley rolled Lesnar inside the ring and then speared him. Lesnar went back to the ring. He went back to ringside. He followed and then speared Lesnar through the barricade in front of the timekeeper's area. Back in the ring, Lashley speared Lesnar again and then covered him for a near fall. Lesnar got his first offense with a German suplex around 90 seconds in. Lesnar followed up with two more German suplexes. Lesnar continued to sell a bad knee. Lesnar hoisted up Lashley and gave him an F5. Lesnar covered Lashley for a near fall. Lesnar went for an F5. Lashley slipped it away and clotheslined him the top rope, over the top rope to ringside. Lashley went to the floor, hoisted up Lesnar on his shoulders, and then ran him into the ring post. Lashley threw Lesnar back inside the ring and went for another spear. Lesnar cut him off, went for an F5. Lashley slipped away and put Lesnar down for a spinebuster. Fans booed after that. So caught Lesnar in the heart lock. I don't want to give up. Shut up, Lesnar told the referee. Lesnar dropped to one knee that showed signs of life by holding up his right arm. Lesnar powered his way to the corner, then kicked off the turnbuckle and landed on top of Lashley, who actually held onto the hurt lock while the referee counted him down. The match, Lashley acted surprised and frustrated. Yes, folks, I'm not making that up. He actually legitimately acted surprised and frustrated by the match outcome. Lashley put Lesnar in the hurt lock again, and Lesnar faded. Lashley released the hold, and Lesnar sold the hold. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. A good big man match. This was a good big man match. Honestly, it really was. And I thought Lashley attacking Lesnar before the bell would set up Lashley going over. But the approach they took with Lashley dominating before taking the loss was well done, basically. So, by the way, we're forever chance during the match. So, thanks for that becoming a worldwide thing, you fucking nerds. No, seriously, guys, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. That was a joke. It wasn't serious. It wasn't intentional. Get your minds out of the gutter, you geeks online. I was joking. An ad aired for WWE Survivor Series. War Games to the tone of Sabbath's War Pigs. I don't know what the fuck that is. Liv Morgan aired, presumably, while ad based Peacock subscribers were watching ads. Dakota Kai and Io Sky made their entrance. So once Io Sky and Dakota Kai made their entrance, we basically got Asuka and Alexa Bliss. Defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Champions against Dakota Kai and Io Sky. So, before that, Byron Saxton interviewed Alexa Bliss in the backstage area and asked them how prepared they feel to defend the titles after only holding them for 5 days. Bliss said they have been preparing for this moment for months. Bliss was momentarily distracted by the Bray Wyatt insect logo appearing on the television screen next to her, basically. So the duo made their entrance while Cole acknowledged the history between Bliss and Bray Wyatt. So we got Asuka. As I said, we got Asuka and Alexa Bliss defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Champions and Dakota Kai for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. If this damn laptop don't stop skipping, it's going to piss me off. Anyways, all 4 women wore gear that covered their arms and legs. I wonder why women has to wear gear to cover their arms and legs. Seems like that's uncomfortable, man. Seems like their arms and legs are not getting air. I don't know. I wonder what's going on with that. I wonder why women's got to cover up for Saudi Arabia. I'm guessing Saudi Arabia. Oh, I think I know why. Because of Saudi Arabia's policy and rules. That's probably why they had to cover up. You know, Saudi Arabia is different than the United States. Just so you guys know. They have rules on what men and women can wear in that country. And what they can't wear. Now I got to figure it out. Referee Aja Smith also wore a long sleeve shirt under her referee shirt. Asuka and Bliss sent both challengers to the floor and performed a double baseball slide spot. So then, back in the ring, Sky drop-kicked Asuka, who was on the top rope. Asuka was hung up in the tree of Wu for a moment, and then Kai struck her. So then, out of the blue, Asuka fell to the floor and suffered a knee injury before returning to the ring. Sort of like what Brock Lesnar did in his match against Bobby Lashley. They were almost so similar. Almost alike. Sky targeted the bad knee. The crowd chanted, "Let's go, Asuka." Kai and Sky continued to isolate Asuka. Bliss eventually took a hot tag to a strong crowd reaction. Bliss worked over both challengers. Bliss hit a double drop kick on Kai and Sky while they were on their knees. Bliss spiked Kai with a tornado DDT, covered her, but Sky ran in and broke up the pin. She dragged Kai to her corner and then actually tagged herself in. So, once she tagged herself in, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to think what I remember from watching this pay-per-view. Okay, so once she tagged herself in, Bliss performed Code Red on Sky for a near fall. So then Bliss went up top for her finisher and was cut off by Sky. Kai joined Sky on the ropes and they set up for a double suplex, but Asuka ran in and snuck underneath them to perform a Tower of Doom spot. So then Asuka tagged in and hit Kai with a missile dropkick. Asuka followed up with a series of strikes and a code breaker. Dakota Kai avoided a hip attack. Asuka suplexed her and bridged for a 2 count. Asuka tagged out and then dropped Kai with a kick. Bliss went up top and was briefly distracted by Sky on the apron. Bliss went for Twisted Bliss, but Kai put her knees up. So then Asuka took Sky with a knee lift on the floor in the ring. Bliss put Kai with a DDT. Bliss went up top for the finisher. For her finisher, Asuka and Sky fought their way back inside the ring while the referee focused on clearing them from the ring. Nikki Cross attacked Bliss and then rolled out the ring, which led to Bliss being pinned. I'm guessing this is setting up a Nikki Cross-Alexa Bliss feud going forward in the Raw Women's Division on Monday Night Raw in the WWE. Now, this wasn't the greatest match, but this was the best. Notice I said the word best. This was the best of the Kai and Sky versus Asuka and Bliss match. This is one of the best matches ever. They were given a good amount of time and yet didn't really overstay their welcome, to be honest. But the Cross finish was set up with a backstage shot on Raw that showed Bayley speaking with Cross while Kai and Sky stood by. Obviously, the question now is what role Cross will play in the Raw Women's Championship match. Meanwhile, I guess, I guess the progress is that the female wrestlers no longer have to wear baggy t-shirts over their gear. If nothing else, the wrestlers upped their salty gear game with some cool, colorful attires. It didn't look too bad on them. You know, it looked great. I mean, it really looked great on them. I don't even know who Aaron Carter is. What's his ring name? What was his ring name? Because I'm pretty sure his ring name wasn't Aaron Carter. Anyways, a Becky Lynch video aired. Cole read through the Saudi Arabia propaganda plug. An SUV was shown arriving at the venue. Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and their entourage exited the vehicle. Saxton asked Logan how he was feeling. Logan said he was feeling great and feeling like he was about to shock the world. He said it only takes one lucky punch. A video package recapped the Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross feud. We got Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett ringside in a steel cage match. Kross and Scarlett had a black and white entrance, while McIntyre brought his stupid giant sword to the ring with him. Yes, his sword is stupid. It's fake, it's ugly. Nah, I'm just joking. It's just stupid, though, to be honest. Cole played up the idea that McIntyre needed to win the match. The cage was lowered around the ring. Cole noted that Jessica Carr was the referee for this match. And they picked the referee, too. Jesus Christ. Carr and Scarlett had their arms and legs covered. Early in the match, Kross caught McIntyre in the tree of wood while standing on the top rope. McIntyre set up and then tossed Kross in the ring. McIntyre got down and was greeted with a flying knee from Kross, who covered him for a 2 count. Now we see a flying knee from Kross. Anyways, Kross performed a Doomsday Saito suplex. McIntyre ducked Kross, hammer, and came right back with a future shock DDT. That doesn't surprise me either. We've seen him do that countless times. McIntyre counted down for his finisher, but he was distracted by Scarlett, who climbed the cage to ring apron level and then shook it. Kross took advantage of the distraction and applied a sleeper. Kross released the hold and hit McIntyre with the Kross hammer. Kross tried to escape by climbing over the top of the cage. McIntyre went to the top rope and ended up performing a superplex. This is awesome chants broke out. McIntyre had ringside. Referee Dan Angler opened the cage door. Scarlett sprayed a substance into the eyes of McIntyre and Angler. Kross crawled to the open door, but McIntyre caught him and applied an ankle lock. Kross eventually kicked McIntyre away. McIntyre came right back with a big kick. Scarlett closed the cage door and locked, then taunted McIntyre about holding up the key. McIntyre tried to get over the top of the cage. Scarlett unlocked the cage door. Kross crawled toward the door, but McIntyre dropped to the floor at ringside to win the match. Afterward, Kross said this wasn't supposed to happen as he watched McIntyre play to a fired-up crowd. This was an enjoyable match. Really cage match that you would enjoy, but so much WWE wrestlers can do when they are not allowed to blade. Even so, they made good use of Scarlett and the cage, and the finish was fairly suspenseful. SUV arrived outside the venue. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa exited the vehicle. Saxton asked Reigns if he had any response to Logan Paul saying it only takes one lucky punch. Reigns walked away. Sikoa glared at Saxton, then shoved the mic away. Heyman mocked the one lucky punch. Heyman said Reigns is the best defensive wrestler in history, meaning Paul will never hit the one lucky. Colin Parent spoke at ringside. Cole said he's been around Reigns throughout his run, and something about tonight feels different. We have Judgment Day we got Judgment Finn Balor, W Mysterio, and Damian Priest, first of all, with Rhea Ripley at ringside versus the OCs, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Karrion. Now, that fucking geek, Michael Cole, pointed out Ripley's hairstyle and said Ripley told him that she was paying homage to the late great Beth Phoenix. Ripley's arms and legs were covered. A few minutes into the match, Dom took a powder to avoid being worked over. Anderson followed him to the floor and was hit with a boot from Priest. Back in the ring, Dom covered Anderson for a 2 count. Dom played to the crowd and was booed heavily for tagging out. Anderson was isolated by the heels. So Priest tagged in and crutch chopped the OC corner. Priest knocked Gallows off the apron with a punch. Anderson put Priest down with a net breaker. Anderson was about to make the tag, but Balor pulled Styles off the apron and sound like I was getting ready to lose my voice for a minute. Ran him into the ring steps. Anderson put Priest down with a spine buster. Gallows returned to the apron and took the hot tag while Priest tagged Dom. Gallows pulled him inside the ring and worked him over. Gallows tagged Anderson in and set up for the Magic Killer. But Priest ran in and broke it up. Anderson ducked a clothesline that led to Priest tumbling to ringside. Dom rolled up Anderson for a 2 count. Anderson and Dom threw stimulus clotheslines, and then both men tacked out. Styles and Balor entered the match. Styles got the better of Balor and then slapped Priest to the mat. Styles went to the apron and threw a knee at Dom, who was on the floor. Styles turned his focus back to Balor and set up a Styles clash. He was setting up for a Styles clash of sorts. But Balor pushed him into the corner. Balor avoided a calf crusher and Styles into a leg lock that Anderson broke with a senton. Gallows put Dom down. Priest took out Gallows. Styles took out Priest. Balor put Styles down with an inverted DDT for a 2 count. Balor went up top for his finisher, but Styles cut him off. Styles set up for a super grab Styles leg to stop it, but he was taken out. Then, once he was taken out, there was a big spot where Gallows had Dom in electric chair position while Priest had Anderson in the same position. They fell to the mat at the same time that Styles set up for a phenomenal form, but Ripley pulled him off the apron and dropped him face first into the apron. Somebody's kick her ass. Somebody's got to kick her ass, man. Seriously. Cole said Balor hit the Kross on Styles and then pinned him. First of all, I'm gonna say the exact same thing I said on my WWE 2022 Crown Jewel watch along, and that is that A, Balor and AJ Styles killed it. B, Gallows and Damian Priest killed it in the ring. And C, Karl Anderson and Dominique killed it in the ring. So I think first it was Styles. It was So first it was Karrion and Dominic, I think. And then it was Styles and Balor. And then it was Gallows and Damien Priest. And then it was Styles and Balor, I believe. Because we just went over the match between the OC and Judgment Day. So yes, Dominic and Carl Anderson killed it. Styles and Finn Balor killed it. And Damien Priest and Luke Gallows killed it. This was a damn good match. It really was. Very, very damn good. And I'm guessing mingling with all the officials is really, rubbing off on Cole, because this was a very, very damn good, solid 6-man tag match. Beth Phoenix is going to seek revenge on Rhea Ripley at some point. It will be interesting to see if the OC has another female to counter Ripley's involvement. What if it ends up being Beth Phoenix? You never know, man. Or it could easily be Viper Piven. Viper Piven hasn't came back yet. It could be her. I can see. We haven't seen Piper Niven versus Rhea Ripley. That would be a damn good match, dude. Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley. That's a WrestleMania caliber match right there. That's a dream match. But we all know that Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley is even more of a WrestleMania caliber match. And I think that match should take place at WrestleMania, to be honest. I don't even think that match should take place at Survivor Series at all. I really don't. Given that they're both on the Monday Night Raw roster, so I think it only makes sense for that match to be booked for 39. But anyways, Seth Rollins' video package aired. Cole set up a video package on the build to Braun Strowman versus Omos. There was also a tale of the tape graphics. We got this god-awful Braun Strowman versus Omos matchup. I love the face-to-face between Braun Strowman and Omos. I just didn't like the match. I may like the match, but I didn't. I don't like to see 7-foot-tall guys going with 6-foot tall, 6'9" or 6'8" tall guys in the ring. It just makes the match slow. You know what I'm saying? I don't like slow matches. It just, some reason when you got big guys in the ring, they make the matches a little slow. I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm not making that shit up. That's just how I feel about it. I'm not trying to pick on nobody's side. It's just how I feel. It's that simple. It's just how I fucking feel about it. Now, anyways, guys. So MVP did not accompany Omos to the side after Strowman on SmackDown. Strowman and Omos met in the middle. Strowman had to look up to Omos. He had to look up at Omos. Strowman told Omos that he had all of Saudi Arabia behind him. And when he mean all of Saudi Arabia, he mean the whole entire crowd. All the Saudi Arabian fans in attendance for this amazing pay-per-view. What's not so amazing is this match right here that I'm going over with you guys. Now, Omos called for a test of strength The crowd booed. Omos repeatedly asked Strowman if he had heard that. Omos put Strowman on his knees with the test of strength, and Strowman started to stand up. Omos threw a knee to his gut. Omos barked at Strowman that he owned him. Omos whipped Strowman into the opposite corner and then clotheslined him. Omos bounced off the ropes and then hit Strowman down with a big boot. Omos followed up with a kick to the ribs that led to Strowman rolling to the floor. Strowman clotheslined Omos over the top rope and then returned to the ring. Strowman hit Omos a couple times and then failed to body slam him. Omos body slammed Strowman with ease. Strowman hit Omos with a boot from his back and then failed to body slam him again. Omos picked up Strowman and held him there before slamming him to the mat. Omos played to the crowd for heat. Omos put his foot on Strowman for a cover. Strowman immediately rolled out of it. Barrett said he'd never seen Omos look so confident in what he was doing and noted that it was happening without MVP in his corner. Omos tossed Strowman across the ring and then played to the crowd for more heat. Omos looked into one of the cameras and said he could do this in his sleep. Yeah, right. Give me a fucking break. Get off my fucking TV with that shit. He could do this in his sleep. What a stupid thing. What a pathetic thing to say on TV. Omos got Strowman by the throat, and then Strowman reversed the favor. Strowman hit Omos with a couple of punches that dazed him. Strowman continued to throw punches. Omos got pissed and went for a clothesline that Strowman ducked. Strowman clotheslined Omos, who failed to go over the top rope until Strowman pushed him over. Omos landed on his feet. Strowman went to ringside and charged Omos, who knocked him down. Omos rolled Strowman back inside the ring and followed. Omos barked that he's the giant. Omos went for his tree slam finisher, but Strowman powered him hands free. Omos threw a knee into Strowman's gut. Omos charged Strowman in the corner. Strowman moved. Strowman used Omos's momentum to scope him up and then slammed him for the 3 count. All I'm going to say is the Nigerian giant had a new piece of attire for his entrance. And it was kind of like a combination of poncho and a, but cut differently. And I guess Omos trying to pin Strowman with his boot instead of a cover was a good way to show that he was overly confident in his abilities. That's all I got. Other than all that, the match was terrible. Absolutely boring. God-awfully boring to watch. I didn't like it. That's the only match on the pay-per-view that I did not enjoy watching. As soon as that match came up on my screen, that's when I went on ahead. That's when I went on ahead and gave you guys the rest of the results from the beginning of the show. I gave you the results from Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match, and the LC versus Judgment Day on my WWE 2022 Crown Jewel Watch Along. Now, WWE Live Events video aired entrances for the tag team title match. In between their entrances, broadcast team recapped Jey Uso working over Sheamus with a chair on a recent SmackDown episode, I'm going to say. On a recent SmackDown episode. Cole noted that Jey had his arm in a sleeve. Cole said Jey told him that he believes he suffered a broken wrist on the European tour. Cole said Jey would have a MRI on Monday, but he told him that he will defend the tag titles against New Day on SmackDown. We got Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso versus Rich Holland and Butch for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. Cole noted that the winning team will defend the tag titles against the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods on Friday's SmackDown. The Usos teased taking their titles and leaving during the opening minute, but the challengers stopped them. Butch used joint manipulation on Jimmy and stomped his elbow. Cole said the Butch was targeting Jimmy's elbow because Jay injured the elbow of Sheamus, and he attacked him with a chair. Holland and Jay tagged into the match. Holland ended up performing running splashes on both Usos in opposite corners. So then Holland powered up both Usos and dumped them to the match seamlessly, then covered Jay for a 2 count. So then Jay had his right wrist and multiple fingers taped. Holland hit 9 of the 10 beats on Jay before Jimmy pulled his brother to ringside. Holland went to the floor, hit Jay with a shoulder block. Jimmy went for a suicide dive, but Holland held over the ring steps, and then Butch stomped it. Holland told Jimmy that's what he gets for Sheamus. Back inside the ring, Holland got a 2 count on Jay. Butch tagged in and did a heat fake on the ropes that caused Jay to throw a super kick. Butch followed up with a dive onto Jay for a near fall. Butch and Holland set up for a double team move on Jay that Jimmy broke up. He goes through super kicks. They eventually cleared Holland for them. Ring. Jimmy tagged in and went for a top rope dive, but Butch caught him in a hold on the way down and then targeted Jimmy's fingers. Jay made a blind tag. Jimmy powered up Butch, and then Jay threw a kick at him. So the Usos hit a stemmatous top rope splashes on Butch, and Jay had him beat. But Holland returned to break up the pin. The crowd started yelling Uzi. Jay asked Butch if he heard that. Butch grabbed Jay's bad hand and did the finger break spot before tagging out. Holland cleared Jimmy from the ring and then performed white nose on Jay for a good near fall. Butch caught Jay with a knee, a kick, in other words. But Jimmy made a blind tag to the ropes. Jay hit him with a super kick and then joined him on the ring. So then Jay grabbed Butch and lowered him into a 1D from Jimmy in the ring. Jimmy covered Butch and got the 3 count. And that was it. So a graphic listed the Usos versus New Day for the Universal Tag Team titles on Friday Night SmackDown. The next week's SmackDown. This was a good match that lacked any sense of major mystery regarding the outcome. I mean, if you ask me, it was unavoidable, given that everything has been, building towards the New Day, attempting to stop Usos from breaking their record for the longest tag team title reign in WWE. With that being said, you got to admit that Holland's white noise on Jay had people wondering for a half second. Jay put weight on his bad arm when he had to get up from the mat at times. Now, hopefully his injury is minor. Somehow, some way, that injury is clearly Sami Zayn's fault. And guys, by the way, the Crown Jewel pay-per-view started at 12 p.m. in case you guys didn't know. The watch-along, the WWE Crown Jewel 2022 watch-alongs on the channel. So please go check it out. Go give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Now, we got a Cody Rhodes video that aired. Entrances for the Raw Women's Championship match took place. We got Bianca Belair versus Bayley in the last women standing match for the Raw Women's Championship. So, both wrestlers had their arms and legs covered. Belair had special lighting for her logo and some pyro shoot off during her entrance. Mike Rome delivered in-ring introductions for the title match. He also delivered in-ring introductions for the title match, and Belair avoided Bayley's early attempt to use a kendo stick as a weapon. A short time later, Bayley had Belair seated on a chair at ringside. Bayley went to the barricade, ran, and leaped from it. And then clothesline Belair. Cool spot. Bayley pulled a top out from underneath the ring, which got a rise out of the crowd. Bayley set up the chair on the floor, and then Belair blocked her suplex attempt. Belair suplexed Bayley on the entrance ramp. Belair got Bayley. She grabbed Bayley, who fell off the ramp and landed about a foot down on the floor. Bayley showed an injury while the referee backed Belair. Bayley suddenly came to life and hit Belair to regain offensive control. Bayley rolled Belair back inside the ring and then worked her over with a chair. Bayley ended up trapping Belair behind the ring steps and then somehow placed a ladder over the top opening. The referee counted to 7, and Belair emerged from the opening. Bayley worked over Belair with a kendo stick. Belair blocked a kendo stick shot and then picked up the top half of the ring steps and threw them toward Bayley, who avoided them. And then Belair followed with a spine buster onto the bottom half of the ring steps. So then the referee counted and Bayley got back to her feet at 9. Bayley ducked a kendo stick shot and then ran up the ramp. So then Bianca Belair chased Bayley and worked her over with kendo stick shots on the ramp. Bayley grabbed Belair and slammed her onto the stage with a Bayley to belly. Barrett questioned whether even Bayley would be able to get back to her feet. Both women beat the referee's count. Bayley found a production crate and wheeled it into Belair, who fell inside of it, and the lid closed. The referee counted. Bayley went over to the crate and hit her hands on the top of it, which triggered Belair to spring up and hit Bayley with the top of the crate. So then Bayley put Belair in a crossface on the stage and told her to give up. Bayley released the hold, stood up, the referee counted, and Belair got to her feet. Bayley remerged behind the wheel of a golf cart. I was surprised to see that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was shocked to see that. Because she kept disappearing off the screen like 2 times, and I was wondering why she was disappearing off that screen. Cole called it DWI, driving while insane. My God, Michael Cole, you're a fucking comedian, man. Really? Really, man. You are a fucking comedian with that shit. Jesus Christ, bro. That is so unsatisfying. Belair awkwardly stepped aside while Bayley hit the brakes. Bayley ended up climbing on top of the golf cart. Belair tripped Bayley and then joined her on top of the cart and fired repeated punches at her. Belair dropped down and got behind the wheel. Belair drove the golf cart down the ramp with Bayley on. Once Bayley stopped, Bayley grabbed Belair's braid. Belair pulled Bayley off the top of the cart using her brake and tried to put her through the table. but Bayley overshot it and didn't hit enough of it to break it. Belair grabbed Bayley, powerbombed her through the table. Bayley got to her feet at 9. Belair tossed a bunch of chairs inside the ring, stacked them up in front of a ladder that was laying in the ring. Belair scoped up Bayley and slammed her onto the chairs. Belair placed a chair over Bayley and went up top and went for a 50 splash, but Bayley rolled out of the way. And Belair landed. Belair got to her feet at 9 and was immediately struck by Bayley, who opened the ladder. Bayley grabbed a chair and worked over Belair with it. Bayley set up the chair in the ring and slammed Belair's head onto the top of it. Belair blocked Bayley's second attempt and then performed a KOD onto the chair. Bayley moved the chair slightly while in the air, and her knee landed on the top of it. Belair placed Bayley inside the open ladder that was laying on the mat. Belair wedged the chair under the bottom rope, and Bayley was unable to escape before the referee's 10 count. So, one thing's for sure. The 3 best matches, in my honest opinion, on this pay-per-view, I'm going to go tell you ahead of time. I'm going to go ahead and tell you early, so I won't have to tell you at the end. 3 of the best matches. 3 or 4 of the best matches on this pay-per-view. One of them was Judgment Day versus the OC. The other one is this one right here. Bayley versus Bianca Belair. Hell of a good match. This was the best match that Bayley and Belair have had in their current program. It's been a cold feud, but they worked really hard and produced a fun, spectacular match. Now, I'm sure you guys initially thought that Bayley took a bad landing on the chair, but the replay seemed to show that she actually moved it intentionally so that her surgically repaired knee would strike the top of it. That's really impressive. Though it does make me wonder why. It does make you guys wonder too. Why they feel the need to show certain replays. From a storytelling standpoint, it's odd that Bayley apparently Nikki Kross interfered in the women's tag team title match. Yet didn't really have her interfere in her match, even though it was actually it actually would have been allowed per the no disqualification rules of a last women standing match. Perhaps there will be more to that story next Monday, which will be tomorrow. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Which will be next Monday, not tomorrow. Excuse me. I did say that first time, but then I said tomorrow. I forgot tomorrow's Sunday. It'll be next week, which will be the week coming up. Oh, and the third best match on this pay-per-view was the third match on the pay-per-view was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. I really enjoyed it just because of Asuka and Io Sky. I love their chemistry in the ring. They got so much chemistry in the ring together, man. No fucking kidding. Asuka and Io Sky, they were killing it in the ring. This match was dope, man. They were speeding. They were speeding in that ring. They was giving each other all they had. The fans wanted to see it, so they got it. You love to see it, man. Really. So, are you ready for this, folks? Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt made his entrance through his door on the stage. Wyatt had his lantern as he headed to the ring, and the fans created the firefly effect with their phones. The crowd popped once he was in the ring and chanted, "Welcome back." Wyatt said he comes from a very prestigious wrestling family. But no shit. That must explain why Bray Wyatt is one of the greatest of all time and has one of the greatest creative minds in WWE. Now, he said some might say that it was even larger than life. I feel like drinking some lemon lime right now after saying all that. I really do. No shit. He said he wanted to be great since he was a young child. He said great wasn't enough. He wanted to be greater than all of them. Wyatt said he did what he thought he needed to do. He said he gave in. He said he made a monster of himself. He also said it didn't take him long to figure out that he was no longer afraid and no longer felt pain when he was wearing his mask. He said some might say the sensations felt good. He said he found himself in a kingdom of nothingness. That's what he said. Kingdom of nothingness. Now you gotta imagine how the fuck he feels when he's saying that. Now he said being the monster destroyed him and ran off everyone. He said he was alone where to run. A "We Love You" chant broke out. Wyatt said, I'm about to block this woman on Snapchat. Somebody keeps blowing me up on my phone. I keep seeing it every time I'm reading. Every time I'm going over the review, somebody is fucking sending me a message on Snapchat. I'm about to block them. Now, anyways, Wyatt said the thing is, no one loves him. He said people love the idea of him and the things he's capable of. I don't even love me, Wyatt said. He added that it doesn't have to be the ending of his story. I used to say the same thing to my years ago. So I can understand. In real life, I did. Wyatt said that's not the man he wants to be remembered as. My name is Bray Wyatt. Wyatt said 3 times. He said he wants to rewrite the ending of his story. So then after that, guys, a video played on the big screen, and Uncle Howdy character asked, "Why wear a mask?" He said, "It must hurt forcing yourself to be someone you're not." Howdy said, "You can't fool him," and questioned. What did he question? He questioned who knows Wyatt better than he does. Howdy said Wyatt will give in, and when he does, he wants him to remember how good it feels. He said that if you're worried about the aftermath, hurt them. Just don't take the mask off, Howdy said. Tell me I'm wrong. More of the same, and it's not a bad thing as far as I'm concerned, as far as some of the people in the community are concerned. Now, this could have went a lot of ways. A whole lot of ways. But, there are fans who are really anxious for Wyatt to form a faction or get to whatever the plan is for the character. All I got to say is, folks, be patient. Something special is going to happen soon. Be patient. Be fucking patient, dude. Be patient. But I am enjoying the slow build, and I hope you got to, because it's possible that it could be dragged out. But, myself and I really just don't feel like we're anywhere close to, reaching that point. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, A Survivor Series War Games ad. Cole and Barrett spoke about the War Games addition to Survivor Series. Barrett said he's called War Games matches and they have twice the number of rings and Bedlam. Cole set up a video package on the main event. Entrances for the match took place with Logan coming out alone. He played to the crowd. Once he was inside the ring, received cheers. Cole played up the one lucky punch. Cole said Roman hasn't been pinned since December the 5th. 2018, Reigns made his entrance along with Paul Heyman. Cole said Reigns' title reign is up to 797 days. Cole said he has sources close to Roman who have told him that Reigns has been very aloof and won't take advice. Cole played up the idea that Reigns wasn't as prepared for the match as he normally would be. Barrett rebutted Cole's comments. So we got Roman Reigns defending his Universal Championship, his Undisputed Universal Championship against Logan. Mike delivered in-ring introductions for that title match as well. Paul received a mixed reaction, and he pointed at Roman Reigns, who smiled in response. Roman was cheered, and there was a brief Roman chant. Roman smirked at Logan, who smiled in response before the bell rang to start the match. Barrett said this might be the easiest night's work for Roman Reigns' entire championship reign. Logan reversed a wrist lock and then slammed Reigns to the mat. Reigns returned the favor. Logan slammed Reigns out of a fireman's carry. Reigns dropped Logan with an uppercut. Logan threw a wild punch that Reigns avoided before rolling inside where he spoke with Heyman. Reigns returned to the ring. He returned to the ring, and Logan told him. This is what Logan told him, guys. He told him, "Stop, bro." Tribal Chief. Reigns took offensive control with a shot to the body, and then an elbow to the head that took Logan off his feet. Logan came back with a nice sequence that included a leapfrog, an arm drag, and a clothesline that sent Reigns over the top rope to the floor. That was bad. Logan went to ringside where Reigns caught him with a shot and then tossed him to the timekeeper's area. Reigns played to the crowd and smirked when he turned around. Logan drove off the barricade with a crossbody block. Logan threw Reigns. He threw Reigns back inside the ring. Logan performed a buckshot lariat on Reigns and got a near fall. So then Barrett spoke about realizing that he'd taken opponents too lightly and how panic mode sets in. Logan went for a springboard move and was caught with a big uppercut from Reigns. Heyman encouraged Reigns by yelling that he's the tribal chief, the greatest of all time. Hey, that's what I'd be saying. Maybe Paul Heyman got that from me. Who knows? Maybe Paul Heyman's been watching my SmackDown reviews. You never know. Reigns kicked Paul in the ribs multiple times. Cole said the longer the match goes, the more it would have Reigns' dominance written all over it. Reigns performed a side suplex and then covered Logan for a 2 count. For a 1 count, actually. Excuse me. Reigns mockingly applauded him. Reigns applied a chin lock. Uh-oh, here we go. You know what we always often see in WWE every week? Chin locks. Right? Logan got to his feet and elbowed his way free. Reigns hit Logan with repeatedly clothesline style shots in the corner. Then ran the ropes and threw another leaping clothesline. Reigns covered Paul for just another 1 count. Reigns looked at the referee, asked if he was really just a 1 count. Reigns applied another chin lock and said he would put an end to this. He looked into the camera and said, there wouldn't be any more YouTubers coming over here anymore. Logan came back with a gut-wrench suplex. That was a nice, I'm not going to lie to you. Despite the fact that Logan Paul is not a good professional wrestler, despite the fact that he's just a celebrity, I got to give it to him. I got to give it to him for delivering a nice gut-wrench suplex and then hitting a top rope blockbuster. That looked really, really good, which resulted in a 2 count. Barrett called Logan the best 3-match wrestler. Oh, really? I'm sure Logan Paul will take that nicely. What Barrett said. He ever seen and said it wasn't even close. Logan dropped Reigns with a Superman punch. Yes, he used Roman Reigns' own signature Superman punch. Logan stayed down for a moment and then kept up. Logan went up top, performed a crossbody block. Logan stood up and formed a standing moonsault for a close near fall. Heyman acted like a nervous wreck at ringside. Cole took issue with Logan questioning the referee's count and not going right back on the offensive. Logan went to a corner and tuned up the band. Reigns stuffed a super kick and then performed a Uranagi slam, basically. Covered Logan for a near fall. Barrett said he came into the match a doubter, but it's clear that Logan is something special and would fight until his last breath. Reigns got to his feet and played to the crowd while Logan also stood up. Logan sidestepped a Superman punch and hit Reigns with a shot to the kidney. Ugh, sounds disgusting. Logan hit Reigns with a punch. Reigns was woozy when he got back to his feet. Logan hit Reigns with a Superman punch and covered him for another good near fall. Reigns flexed his jaw while he was laying on the mat. Reigns rolled to the floor while Logan tried to grab his hand to keep him inside the ring. Logan Paul followed Reigns to the floor and then cleared the Arabic broadcast table. Logan took a swing from a drunk. I said drunk. Man, could you imagine him being drunk, man? Can you imagine one of them being drunk? No, I couldn't. That wouldn't be good at all. WWE's not going to allow a drunk motherfucker, a dumb fuck that's drunk, wrestle in the ring. Come on now. Logan took a swing from a drink from one of his entourage buddies who was in the crowd. Logan took a cell phone from his other buddy, brought into the ring with him, and played to the crowd. Logan held the phone as he went to the top rope and then performed a frog splash that drove Reigns through the table. Now, the question is Logan Paul going to pay for his one of his entourage members' phone? Is he going to buy him a new phone after that? I imagine that phone's got to be broken or something. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso ran out and checked on Reigns. Then pulled Logan's buddies over the barricade and beat them up. Jimmy brought one of them into the ring and super kicked him. Jay, who only had his fingers tapped, brought the other buddy inside the ring and he was super kicked and tossed back to ringside. Jake Paul made his entrance and entered the ring with Usos. Jake took out both Usos with bad punches. Jake played to the crowd, yelled, "Let's go." Meanwhile, Logan threw Reigns back inside the ring, and then Jake told Logan to finish it. Logan performed a top frog splash that resulted in another close near fall. Both men stayed down. Solo Sikoa's entrance music played, and he headed to the ring with a black towel over his head. Jake stood at the bottom of the ramp and struck a fighter's pose, but Adam Pearce and other producers and referees ran out and kept them apart. The Usos approached Jake from behind. Logan performed a big dive from the ring onto both Usos. Logan returned to the ring and was blasted by a Superman punch from Roman Reigns, who followed up with a spear for the win. Bloodline went to the stage. Reigns dropped his knee. He dropped to his knee and sold his jaw. He yelled something about not wanting to see Logan again. Heyman gushed over Reigns being the tribal chief. Reigns turned and yelled to the crowd, then sold jaw pain again. A video package recapped the event. Now, this was a really fun main event. You know, it could have done without the Jake and Usos portion, but they did use that to pretty much set up the finish. Broadcast team did a great job of telling the story of the match. Cole established that Reigns wasn't taking Logan seriously. Barrett went from being a Logan skeptic to a Logan believer. I don't know if this will win over fans who hated this match going in, but those who were interested had to come away satisfied by the spectacular match. Now, I'm still not convinced that this will be enough to get Logan Paul cheered by American WWE fans the next time he appears on TV. But overall, this was a good show that played to an enthusiastic crowd. It was a really good Crown Jewel episode. And visually, one of the better pay-per-views that we haven't got in a long time. Because they introduced those drones with lids on them. And they did these really awesome displays in the sky for entrances. I had to take my headphones off because I heard something loud outside. And I don't know if somebody's shooting outside or not. I heard something. It might just be raining. I don't know. But anyways, but that aside, also surprises in the results. Lashley versus Lesnar was a really good opener. A lot of EBB and flow. But Lesnar snatching that victory surely means we get a tiebreaker. I felt like they could go again for the Royal Rumble. Maybe they'll go even sooner and have it be Survivor Series in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Now, either way, that tiebreaker could go either way. But as I was saying on Raw, Lashley should win it. Lesnar gets very little winning. This win, he's already had a Universal title match with Roman Reigns and lost. Lashley winning can get him up to the Universal title, or at least back to a mid-card title by WrestleMania time. That fucking that ending was still bad. It was still one of the worst endings I've seen in a pay-per-view. That ending of the match between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley is the one I'm talking about. Now, another surprise was Damage Control winning the belts back so soon, while Bayley doesn't really win against Bianca Belair. Now, I thought it would go the other way for those matches so that there wouldn't be any hot potato with the titles, you know. But we got great matches from both women's titles, especially that last women's standing. That had to have been the most creative last person standing match anywhere ever. Now, Nikki Cross screwing over Alexa and Asuka was another great surprise, but it's not clear if she joined Damage Control or if it's just doing her own stuff. I still think Survivor Series War Games should be winners take all, but maybe Nikki brings in Piper Niven and a third member. You never know. I honestly think we're going to get Damage Control, Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, maybe Candice LeRae, and Who else? And maybe Bianca Belair, more than likely. It would be great to see Sasha Banks and Bayley on opposite teams. You know what I mean? It'd be a great thing to see. It would be even more awesome to see babyface Becky Lynch back in WWE. Back from injury or whatever. Wherever she's out with. We got a really good cage match, especially given it was a cage match. Those still feel used up as such. Of course, Scarlett gets involved. But it was clever that she forgot escaping. The cage match means more than just the door. Now, like with Lesnar and Lashley, we'll surely get another match that will probably be at Survivor Series, but not in a War Games match. Now, it might be another stipulation, but it really should have just have Scarlett banned from ringside. Maybe. I don't know. That's just me saying that. I don't mind seeing Scarlett. I don't have a problem with Scarlett being on TV. I really don't. That's what some of the geeks online are saying. But the six-man tag was really good. But of course, Rhea was the reason Judgment Day won. Again, she had the same hairstyle Beth Phoenix had. That's defiantly a sign Beth is returning to have a match with her. Braun versus Omos. Absolutely terrible. Was a complete disaster. That is all I got to say about that. And of course, Bray Wyatt had another really good promo with Uncle Howdy. Though it didn't really add that much other than Bray establishing his real life family's wrestling history. But you guys suppose, and I'm sure some of the people in the community that are Bray Wyatt fans probably suppose that this was a good chance to move the story forward another step. And it's also curious, but me personally, I think Howdy was wearing the other mask of Uncle Harper. Maybe. I don't know. That's just me. I'm just guessing. I'm not, I mean, that's just me guessing. I'm not really sure. That's just me making that up. That could be true, though. And I also wonder if Bray enters his 3 faces of Foley phase here, being Bray, Howdy, and Harper. You never know. We'll see. We got great stuff out of the Bloodline, as always. The Bloodline continues to be the best thing on SmackDown every week. And on a pay-per-view as well. Great tag match of Usos and Brawling Brutes. The Brutes looked awesome. I did have a feeling that the Usos would retain. And with the Universal Championship, of course, the Bloodline helped Roman Reigns win by distracting Logan Paul. Even so, Logan Paul looked great. You know, like him or not, man, Logan Paul has the athletic ability and the charisma to be a great wrestler. But in reality, he's not an actual wrestler. He's a celebrity. Now, I don't know if Jake's going to stick around, but I'm pretty sure some of the people in the community wouldn't be surprised if WWE tries to actually rope the Paul brothers into something tag team related. And folks, that is my thoughts on the WWE 2022 Crown Jewel pay-per-view, my full thoughts. That's going to do it for your Jewel review, guys. Thank you guys for joining me for the review, first of all. You guys are new to the channel, man. If you want to see and you want to be a part of my watch-alongs every week and you want to be in a live chat, listening to my reviews every single week, please hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell for all notifications, man. Also, share this stream to whatever social media platform you want to share it to. It doesn't make a difference what it is. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You can also share my link to my channel as well. Let everybody know that I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours for monetization. I may not be able to make it monetization at home. I'm trying to cuss less on some of my live streams and watch alongs. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it, slowly working on it. I do that. I only do that when stuff makes me mad. When the shows suck, or when the shows are boring, or when somebody I've got into an argument with that pissed me off, or stuff like that. You know. But guys, forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, add me on Snapchat. And as always, the links to all my accounts are in the description. So, guys, I will be right back. I'm gonna go take a little break, and then it'll be time for your WWE. It'll be time for me to give you your WWE and AEW Saturday midnight news here on the IWN YouTube channel. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, folks. Coming up next is your WWE and AEW Saturday night news here on the IWN YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. I will be back in a few minutes. right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to give you guys your WWE and AEW Tuesday or AEW. It's time for me to give you your WWE AEW Saturday Midnight News. That's what I'm trying to say. If you guys can understand. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the news on Vince McMahon. Yes, there's some news on Vince McMahon, folks. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. There is some news on Vince McMahon. So apparently Vince McMahon allegedly stopped caring about WWE during the last days as champion or as chairman. I could never imagine him being champion. I didn't mean to say that. That slipped. That came out of my mouth. I mean, who the fuck wants to see Vince as champion? Nobody, clearly. Now, Vince McMahon was in the news all back in January or back in June, after it was actually revealed that he secretly paid $3 million as a hush money deal to a departing WWE employee. Now, McMahon was under investigation following this, and he decided to retire. He is not being accused of not caring about WWE. It was eventually brought to light that McMahon paid $12 million in hush money to quiet a few women over the last 20 years. This is the straw that broke the camel's back for McMahon, as his career in WWE was basically over at this point. In fact, an additional $5 million of unrecorded expenses were linked to Vince McMahon. Well, no shit. Nobody's surprised by this. While speaking to Smack Talk, Dutch Mantel alleged that Vince McMahon didn't care about WWE during the last days of being the chairman. It says here, and I quote, he, Triple H, took his time and turned it around. Now, it has so much positivity to it, and it took just a good person who understands the wrestling business and storytelling, because I don't think Vince gave a crap. He was making money, and he was, hey, I'm on rest. You guys figure it out. I think he put the personal feelings to it that he might just not like this guy because of a personal reason. I thought they were going to say political reason for a minute. Jesus Christ, would have been even better saying political reason. Given that Vince and Bruce were running WWE and were in WWE for political reasons. You know, because they had stupid political agendas. In WWE, they did a whole lot of stupid political agendas. I mean, look how fucking terrible the shows are. Look how horrible the shows were when Vince and Bruce was running WWE, when they were in charge. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't, it's so many talents that got wasted on TV, I don't even want to even say their names. I don't even want to mention their names on here. But Mantel goes on to say, I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't think he wanted to be sat down and told this long storyline. You do this for 50 years and you get burnt out, end quote. Vince McMahon also agreed to pay the cost of the investigation. Triple H is in charge of WWE, and now fans couldn't be happier. We'll have to see what other changes the game will make in the long run. What's y'all's take on what Mantel said? Let me know in the live chats, guys. All right. Moving on to the next WWE Saturday Midnight News here. So apparently there's belief that DX could make WWE television return. So D-Generation X celebrated their 5th anniversary on the October the 10th episode of Monday Night Raw, and Triple H, Sean Waltman, Shawn Michaels, and Road Dogg fans were really into the whole segment as well. It is also believed that the faction might return to WWE television. Billy Gunn wasn't present during the show, and fans certainly missed him as well. Many also believed it was a one-time appearance for the legendary group. The Acclaimed even took a shot at Gunn's absence during a recent AEW Dynamite. While speaking on Smack Talk again, Dutch Mantel says this time that he believes D-Generation X could be returning to WWE television. This is what he said, and I quote, "This is what I'm going to say. Give it a little time. You remember Pat Patterson and Garland Briscoe, who questioned that. You know, he actually X'd that question there. You know, they were older guys, but they were entertaining as hell. So this could work if they do it in and ration it out. Don't just flood it. But they could do a lot of stuff with the group, DX. Not necessarily with the group, but they are going to do stuff with Road Dogg since he's there. There are a lot of things they could do. Shawn Michaels doesn't want much TV action anyway, but Road Dogg is good on TV. End quote. So I guess we will all have to wait and see whether fans will get to see DX, Generation X, back in WWE television or not. Fans will love to see them again as well. So, do you guys want to see DX make a return to WWE television? This question refers to everybody that's watching the stream. Do you guys want to see DX make a return to WWE television? Let me know in the live chats. Please, I would really appreciate it. All right, moving on to the next news. So apparently WWE was apparently blasted for making Austin Theory mean absolutely straight up nothing. Austin Theory eventually found himself on the main roster as Vince McMahon's protege. While he had a solid start on the main roster, it all changed after Vince McMahon retired, which led to Theory falling down the pecking order and essentially being on the receiving end of losses. It is no surprise that WWE was also blasted for how they actually have booked Theory for the past couple of months. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Theory has, in fact, been on a streak of bad luck as of late. He should, in my honest opinion, he should have been on a winning streak ever since his main roster debut. That is how I fucking feel about it. He was on a huge losing streak, which he should have never been. Should have been on a winning streak since his main roster debut, like I said, despite picking up the Money in the Bank briefcase along the way. However, he lost to Seth Rollins on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. While speaking to Legion of Raw, former WWE writer Vince Russo blasted WWE for making Austin Theory mean nothing. I mean, do you blame him? I mean, they treated Austin Theory like complete dog shit on television. As he spoke to Dr. Chris Featherstone, Russo let it all out. We also how they treated Tay Conti as a heel like dog shit back in NXT, back when NXT was the black and gold brand. It says here, and I quote, "You're beating the guy continuously that has the Money in the Bank case. Chris, what is the point of having the case then?" He asked that question. That is supposed to be a threat. When that guy cashes in the case, it's game over. But when you are losing every single week, I don't get it, Chris. I don't understand it. Then Vince Russo goes on to say that, well, I think it's safe to say, hey, Chris, if you disagree with me, please disagree with me. Theory means nothing right now. I mean, absolutely zero, nothing. He really doesn't. He's got Vince Russo. You mean love the guy? You can love the guy and hate the guy all you want to, but Vince Russo is making a point. He's telling the truth here. He means absolutely nothing at this point, dude. He should have meant something ever since his main roster debut. Ever since his main roster debut, that guy should have been right on the winning streak. And now they got him winning right at the last minute. That's why I said they treated him like complete dog shit on TV. They treated him like a complete jobber. Like he was a complete fucking idiot, Vince and Bruce did. Jesus Christ, dude. That's why I'm so glad that Vince has retired and Bruce is no longer having control of creative. No longer head of talent relations. I'm so glad. WWE also plans to make Austin Theory wait to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. It makes me also wonder when WWE is going to fire Bruce Prichard. They need to do it now before 2023 gets here. If 2023 gets here and I find out from my sources and from my friends over on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook that Bruce hasn't been fired yet, I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed. I'll be fucking pissed, dude. I hated everything Bruce did as executive director and head of talent relations, just like I hated what Vince did as chairman. Ruined WWE, wasted the young talent, released 200 plus talent from the company because A, budget cuts, and B, they didn't have any plans for any of them. Budget cuts? Huh, bullshit. Bullshit. It's because they didn't have any plans for any of them. It's because they weren't in their vision, they weren't good enough. They weren't the talent that they wanted. Give me a fucking break, man. You serious? So I'm so glad Triple H is taking over WWE. Triple H is a better chairman than Vince was. He's a better chairman than Vince, legitimately. We'll have to wait and see what will happen to Theory in the end. If anything, at least he is getting TV time, but still, he should have been on the winning streak since his main roster debut. I said this like 4 times already. I'm not going to repeat myself again. I'm ready to get off of this fucking story because this shit's pissing me off, which is a terrible sign. Do you guys like Austin Theory's booking? My answer is no. This shit sucks. Nobody likes it. And neither does anybody give a damn about it. His booking is awful. He's great. He's talented. He's great. He's one of the greatest young talents on that roster. But his booking and how he's being used is fucking complete bullshit. Complete pittiness. Really, man. It is. I'm not joking. Ever since his main roster debut, he was used like complete shit. He should have been used like how a young talent is supposed to be used. Used and treated well on TV. Booked well. Used well. Pushed well. No, they didn't do none of that. Now Austin Theory has to get wins. Now all of a sudden, Austin Theory has to get more wins now because he was on a 50 losing streak. Give me a break with this shit, man. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God, dude. Anyways, guys, I'm done. I'm moving on to the next news, dude. Apparently, Drew McIntyre teased forming a faction to take on the Bloodline. So I guess he teaches a faction to take on the Bloodline. And so Drew McIntyre is currently one of the top stars in WWE. We all know that, and he clearly loves his profession. He won the WWE Champion on 2 different occasions and continues to be a beloved star after a heartbreaking loss to Roman Reigns at the Clash at the Castles. McIntyre has hinted at forming his own faction. I wonder why. They don't got any other plans for Drew McIntyre? I mean, they should. I mean, Drew McIntyre has plenty more dream opponents, man. You know? But the Scottish Warrior faced off against Roman Reigns at WWE Clash at the Castle for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship back in September. That match was lost with Solo Sikoa. Made his main roster debut to assist the tribal chief. Since then, McIntyre hasn't crossed paths with Roman Reigns. While speaking on WWE's The Bump, Drew McIntyre hinted at forming his own faction to take on the Bloodline. Obviously, he hasn't gotten over this loss yet. He says here, and I quote, I have to start thinking of a major game plan. Every week I see the Bloodline getting stronger. I honestly don't know. I have to sit down and make that plan. Maybe I have to get a little Uzi myself, whatever I have to do. End quote. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre had a great program through Clash at the Castle, and only time will tell what the future holds. So we'll have to wait and see whether the Scottish Warrior and Tribal Chief will duke it out once again. Plenty of fans would love to see that happen. I mean, again, you love to see that happen again. Don't you see fresh new matches? Oh, that says that the geeks say online, the same geeks that thought Shawn Michaels was in charge. Oh, man, the same ones, man. The same geeks that shitted on Tony Khan and his creative. The same geeks that I was arguing with on Twitter right before my Twitter accounts got suspended. Same old fucking geeks, man. Same old geeks that shitted on JD and his podcast, calling him a sexist and a fucking racist. Same old geeks, dude. Same old fucking idiotic fucking throat-slashing idiots. Anyways. Moving on to the next news, guys. Apparently, WWE is planning. Let me tell you guys something. So apparently, WWE is reportedly still planning regular NXT cuts. Have you guys seen that news this week? Well, if you haven't, I'm getting ready to go over it with you guys. So, WWE reportedly is planning regular NXT cuts. More regular NXT cuts, I'm guessing. Because Triple H says here that Triple H took over WWE Creative, and a lot of changes were made immediately afterwards. However, some things remain the same, including the company cutting talent at regular intervals. They let go of 5 NXT wrestlers this week, and it now seems the company plans on releasing more in the future. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. Oh no, I don't condone people losing their jobs. I don't condone people losing their jobs. I wish Salon Jacobs, Erica Yang, Demarius Griffin, and Wu Feng best luck in their future endeavors and what they're going to do next. Because they were all released from the company, even Baji Hayward. I wish him best luck in his future endeavors as well. Now, due to this, fans started wondering whether the company will end up letting go of more talent in the future. While speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that WWE is still planning on regularly releasing talent who simply do not progress as fast as the company wants. Oh, okay, well, I don't have a problem with that, but still, people losing their jobs, people getting released, losing their jobs, it's clearly a problem to them and not to us. You know what I'm saying? So, that's sad. It's sad to see, man. I'm not going to say you love to see it because I don't love to see people losing their fucking jobs. That's fucked up right there. They have several increments that they judge people on. Now, if people get fired and quit, then that's understandable. That's understandable. I don't blame people for quitting. I mean, these jobs are stressful. I mean, don't get me wrong. But anyways, cuts will be made if they don't see improvement. This is what Dave Meltzer said, and I quote, "The feeling was that for all the people who were dropped, the main reason was lack of progress. They thought they weren't improving fast enough. That's going to be the case." And then he goes on to say, they're going to be cutting people at the 6-month mark. at the 1 year mark, if they're not progressing at a certain level, anyone who doesn't get to TV in 2 years will get cut. We're going to get regular developmental cuts, end quote. So that's what Dave Meltzer said. We will have to wait and see who will get cut next. Regardless, fans will continue to be concerned for their favorite NXT talent in the coming months. Hopefully, the company doesn't have to make these tough cuts very often. Are you guys worried about more talents getting cut? Let me know in the live chats. I'm talking about more talents from NXT. Now, moving on to the next news here. So this one is on the WWE 2023 Royal Rumble. So apparently, WWE will likely smash Royal Rumble record with 2023 event. So it says here that WWE will hold their annual Royal Rumble in San Antonio's Alamudi next year. The show is already at a hitting amount, or the show is already a hit among fans by the looks of it, because the 2023 event is likely to break a huge record. I'm gonna go over why. I'm gonna go over with you guys why it is likely to break a huge record. So, because it says here that the Royal Rumble Premium Live event next year will be the first annual pay-per-view under the Triple H resume or whatever. After he became the head of WWE Creative earlier this year, naturally, basically, the pay-per-view will be under the Triple H administration. In other words, after he became the head of WWE Creative earlier this year, naturally, fans are very excited about it already, and ticket sales have proven that. While speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that the upcoming Royal Rumble Premium Live event has already secured. Also, it's already scored and secured the second biggest advance in Royal Rumble history, with months to go until the event. Due to this, it is likely to smash a huge record. This is what Dave Meltzer said, and I quote: "The Rumbles got a 4.6 million advance, which is the second biggest. It's the biggest advance at this stage for the Rumble in history. The second biggest of all time for a Rumble. And they've still got another 3 months to sell tickets. So it'll be the biggest ever." And I quote, end quote. Triple H knows the right strategy to put things in order. Fans are more or less guaranteed they'll get to see an amazing event. The idea that WrestleMania 39 could see The Rock's return also means that the Royal Rumble, the start of the road to WrestleMania, has even more interesting to it. It has more interest to it. We will have to wait and see how the Royal Rumble turns out next year. If you're planning on attending, then now is the best time to score that ticket, guys. What do you guys think? WWE breaking the record. What do you guys think about that? What's y'all's thoughts on that? Let me know. Going on to the next news. So apparently WWE extends deal with Hulu for various interesting reasons. So WWE content has been on multiple streaming services for the past several years. Due to this, not everyone can actually get to see their content because of various streaming issues. WWE initially had some issues with Hulu, but now it seems they have extended their partnership with the streaming platform for a good reason. As previously reported, WWE ended up signing a 1-year extension with Hulu, which is something fans did not expect whatsoever, man. They didn't expect that at all, man. They didn't see it coming. They never knew it was going to happen. So, despite this, it seems there is another good reason for that. Well, speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE negotiated with Hollow in a bid for the deal to expire at the same time as WWE's deal. WWE's deals with USA Network and Fox, paving the way for a potential exclusive move to Peacock. Since here, and I quote, the Hollow deal was made. They got a one-year deal for Hollow, which would expire at the end of September 2024. So the Hollow deal, the Raw deal with USA Network, and the SmackDown deal with Fox all expire at the same time. Interesting. And then the Wrestling Observer Radio went on to say, so the reason they wanted the one-year extension, which they probably did not get a great financial deal out of, was so all three deals expire at the same time so people can bid for all the rights. They feel that, especially for NBC Universal. I think the idea is for, if you've seen USA Network's numbers, if you take out Raw and you take out NXT, USA Network is now down to averaging 360,000 viewers in prime time without those shows. With them, they're a lot higher, but they would go to essentially a minor network without wrestling. They need it badly. So as long as NBCU wants USA to be anything significant, they don't have to keep NXT, but they absolutely have to keep Raw. And NBCU probably also wants the next day streaming rights for Peacock for at least Raw and NXT. I don't think Fox wants their show on Peacock the next day, but that's all to be negotiated. And Fox does not have its own similar type of streaming platform, so I don't know what that would mean for next day streaming rights. And then they went on to say, but NBC wants all of its programming off Hollywood and into Peacock. Legitimately, they have to wait for the deals to expire. So I think this is all geared towards that. End quote. Hollywood's WWE content currently includes delayed versions of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, as well as main event, Total Divas, Total Bellas. Who gives a shit about Total Divas? I said Total Divas. Who gives a shit about Total Divas and Total Bellas? Nobody cares. Regardless, let's see how the deal turns out. What do you guys make of WWE's extension with Hollywood? Let me know in the live chat. The live chat is open for you guys to comment your thoughts on all the WWE and AEW Saturday night news that I've given you guys so far. Now, moving on to the next news. So apparently, there's internal belief within WWE that CM Punk is straight up poison. So, you're about to find out why they said that. So, CM Punk's fall from grace in AEW was well documented, almost as much as his exit from WWE. Triple H is in control. He is in control of WWE's creative direction right now. And he brought back a few former superstars already. The rumor mill is churning about CM Punk's eventual return, but what does that really mean? Ringside News, my only sources I have, asked around about this subject, and they were told that CM Punk's name is going around backstage. That being said, a current member of the creative team confirmed to them that the only talk about CM Punk is among the talent. CM Punk soared a lot of people on his name. Those internally remember this and do not want his poison back in the company. What CM Punk did to the AEW locker room also did not go unnoticed in WWE. It says here, and I quote, the only talk about CM Punk is among the talent, the writers, the producers, the TV production people, and everyone thinks he is poison. Look what he did to the happy and the motivated locker room of AEW. End quote. A source also stated, no matter what anyone wants to say about the EPs, there was harmony in AEW. That Punk got fair. There is a lot going on in the CM Punk situation, but his return to WWE is not a welcomed idea for a lot of people within the company. Triple H stated in a 2021 interview that he would have a conversation with CM Punk. And now, that could be the time for that to take place. Only time will tell what the future holds. But 2023 might be an even bigger year for pro wrestling landscape than a historic 2022. What's y'all's take on CM Punk possibly coming back to WWE? Sound off in the live chats, please. Thank you. Moving on to the next WWE Saturday Night News. Apparently, WWE's creative direction is looking further in the future. So, WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H completely redesigned the entire WWE lineup. Again, the WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H has completely redesigned the entire line. Triple H assumed control of the company's creative operations when Vince McMahon stepped down as WWE CEO in July. Since taking over as head of creative, the game has changed the landscape, much to the delight of pro wrestling fans. Indeed, he has. That is absolutely true. Why don't you check his resume? Your proof is there. Along with bringing in fresh talent from NXT, Triple H has changed the production and content and brought back previously released WWE superstars such as Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman. I mean, WWE doesn't need Braun Strowman. I don't know why they think they need him. They really don't, in my honest opinion. They do need Bray Wyatt and Johnny Gargano, to name a few. The game surely has a long-term vision for the company. Ringside News, my sources, has an exclusive update on the likelihood of CM Punk's return. If you guys would like to go on their website, check it out. Go check it out. Let me come back. If you're going to check it out, go check it out. Let me come back to this live stream and let me know in the live chat what you think of it once you read it. The new direction has led to an increase in ratings and social media interest throughout the summer and into the fall. On the third quarter, financials call for 2022. Triple H was questioned about his long-term creative vision. So this is what Triple H said, and I quote, it's looking at a year-long cycle of content creation over that year and trying to pick places that you want to go to and put them into your creative GPS system and figure out how you want to get to those things. It's looking further ahead than we've ever done before. As we're rounding the bend to come into the new year and looking at WrestleMania, I'm already beginning in my mind with the team. Collaborate on what we want next year's WrestleMania to look like and how we want the spring coming out of WrestleMania to transfer into the summer and into the fall. It's a large cycle in the future or further. We can go ahead of it. We can get ahead of it. And then he goes on to say to know where we want to go. Obviously, our business being different than making movies or anything else with the human beings involved. Injury rates, everything else that come along with it. And then Triple H goes on to say that when I look at the creative we're doing now and the success of that, understand we're still doing that without Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. Those are significant stars that when they return will move the needle as well. The other big thing for us is focusing on character development. And as you see a lot of stars returning, you will see stars coming up through our developmental system that have never been seen on a Raw or SmackDown before. Developing those characters so that you're invested in them, each individually, so that they mean more within the programming itself. For us, it's keeping things fresh, trying outside the box things. And then he goes on to say in the last long paragraph that some are going to work, some are not. But the right rabbit stuff was outside of the box thinking that came out of this creative team, and that leads you to be able to try new things that you've never tried. Keep the success. Lose the loses. I'm not afraid of the loses. That's where I learn. The successes don't teach me nearly as much as the losses do. When things don't work, that's phenomenal. We'll figure out why they didn't, and the next one will. I'm not afraid of any of that. It's really moving forward, but having a plan of where you want to go, end quote. It should be known that the White Rabbit song by Jeffrey Airplane was used to launch the White Rabbit project at WWE live events. The project generated significant buzz on social media, featured QR codes that appeared on WWE television, and eventually resulted in Bray Wyatt's comeback at WWE Extreme Rules. WWE. Triple H has been doing a fantastic job in running the company and will lead the WWE in a new direction to reach unprecedented heights of success. Do you guys think the company's future is secure in Triple H's hands? Let me know in the live chat. So, next news I have, folks, is on Roman Reigns approaching another massive WWE milestone. This is a good one, folks. You might want to listen to this. This is a very, 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 very good one. So, here that Roman Reigns has been utterly infallible as the Universal Champion, as the Undisputed Universal Champion. And since he made his comeback in 2020, the leader of the Bloodline continues to dominate on Friday Night SmackDown, even on Monday Night Raw. Wherever he is a part there, Roman Reigns is no stranger to milestones. It seems he is nearing yet another one. Reigns have been so dominant to the company that fans have more or less forgotten the last time he was actually pinned. Reigns was last defeated via pinfall at the 2019 TLC Premium Live event, where Baron Corbin defeated him. The event took place on December 15th, 2019, so Reigns is a little over a month away from reaching 3 years of not being pinned in a WWE ring. Of course, this comes as no surprise considering how he has been booked in the last years. Roman Reigns will defend, well, he did defend his WWE Undisputed Universal Championship against Logan Paul. He successfully defended it. He beat Logan Paul to retain it. So, what's y'all's take on Roman Reigns nearing his milestone? Let me know in the live chat. And don't forget, I was live for my WWE 2022 Crown Jewel Watch Along. So clearly, I watched the Roman Reigns Logan Paul match, which was great, which was the 4th best match on the show. Only 4 matches actually stole that show. Well, overall, most of the matches were good outside of Braun Strowman versus Omos. That's the only match that wasn't really good. That's the only match that did not invest my time in watch. Now, moving on to the next news. So apparently, WWE, as far as WrestleMania 39 goes, I have some news on that. So apparently, listen to this. WWE officially announced a WrestleMania 39 wrestling programming. They officially announced a WrestleMania 39 week programming, and it says here that WrestleMania 39 is only a few months away, and the hype for the event continues to grow. Now, the dates for the WWE television programming for that week have now been reviewed. Finally. This is the news you guys been waiting for. Anyway. So, according to a press release sent out by WWE, the company will host Friday Night SmackDown, NXT Stand and Deliver, and Monday Night Raw from the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California, as a part of WrestleMania 39 weekend in March, April. SmackDown will take place on Friday, March 31st, and the arena will be coupled with the 2023 WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. NXT Stand and Deliver will take place on Saturday, April the 1st. Raw will take place on Monday, April the 3rd. It says here, and I quote, November the 3rd, 2022, tickets go on sale Friday. November the 8th, for Friday Night SmackDown 2023. WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, NXT Stand Deliver, and Monday Night Raw at Crypto.com Arena. Stamford, Connecticut, Business Wire, WWE, NYSE, WWE today announced 3 additional events at Crypto.com Arena as part of WrestleMania week in Los Angeles. It says WrestleMania goes Hollywood with full week of events in Los Angeles. Graphic, Business Wire. Friday, March 31st, Friday Night SmackDown 2023. WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Saturday, April 1st, NXT Stand Delivered. Monday, April 3rd, Monday Night Raw. Tickets are for all 3 events go on sale Friday, November the 8th at 10 a.m. p.m. via AXS.com. Then it goes on to say special 3-day event combo tickets will be available this Monday, November 7th at 10 a.m. PT. WrestleMania 39 goes Hollywood and takes place over the course of 2 nights on Saturday, April 1st, Sunday, April 2nd, live from Sophie Stadium. Tickets are currently on sale via Ticketmaster. Fans from all 50 states and 58 countries have already made their plans to be in attendance. Over the past decade, WrestleMania has generated more than $1.25 billion. Good God, that's a lot of money. Woo! Talk about a whole bunch of money, man. God damn. $1.25 billion in cumulative economic impact for the cities that have hosted the event. Additional WrestleMania week events will be announced in the near future. WrestleMania 39 week in Los Angeles, California is shaping up to be one major memorable event. Get ready, folks, because WWE has a lot planned. Hopefully it's planned well and not planned terribly. Who's excited for the events leading up to WrestleMania 39 weekend in Los Angeles? Shout out in the live chat, please. Next, we have some news on WWE nixing huge creative plans for Randy Orton due to his injury. Randy Orton has accomplished a lot of things during his 2-decade run with the WWE. Now, the Viper has done pretty much everything one would want to do in WWE, and fans truly respect him for it. Orton is out of action, and it seems WWE had some huge plans for him after his return. Randy Orton has been out of action for a long time due to his back injury. He was written off television after being attacked by the Usos. Since then, fans have wondered when he will return to WWE television. During a Sport interview with Wrestle Votes, it was reported that WWE's original plans for the Viper's return would have seen him immediately turn on Matt Riddle and begin a feud between the two. That's what I was thinking too. I was just getting ready to mention that. Man, they read my fucking mind already. Jesus Christ, they read my mind, dude. I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that, dude. I really was. I'm not kidding. Now, it says here, and I quote, when Randy Orton went down, the plan was for him to come back and immediately turn heel on Matt Riddle. End quote. Randy Orton could also miss out, except for it didn't say the heel, I said it. But Randy Orton could also miss out on the remainder of the year due to his injury. Perhaps Triple H might still go with this plan if he wants to, So we'll have to see what will become of Orton in the end. So what do you guys think of this original plan? Do you think it's going to go well? Do you think it's going to go successfully good? Or do you think it's going to successfully fail? Let me know. Next, we have some news on Roman Reigns and Ronda Rousey being advertised for next week's WWE SmackDown. Roman Reigns has been a staple of WWE television since his return back in 2020. He has ruled over Friday Night SmackDown with an iron fist, and fans can't have enough of him. And I also have some news on what is actually going to be booked for Friday Night SmackDown for this Friday coming up. Now, he has ruled over Friday Night SmackDown with an iron fist, and fans can't have enough of him. Now, he is being advertised for a future episode of SmackDown as well. Ronda Rousey! Ronda Rousey is the current SmackDown Women's Champion, having won title twice already this year. She is also an imposing figure on the blue brand. That's unlikely to change anytime soon. Anytime soon, man. The Gainbridge Field House is locally advertising Roman Reigns and Ronda Rousey for the November the 11th edition of Friday Night SmackDown in Indianapolis, Indiana, for the time being. I bet Ronda be laughing when I call her that. But anyways, for the time being, WWE.com has Roman Reigns listed for the show. For the Rousey. Before that, Roman Reigns is set to square off against Logan Paul at WWE Crown Jewel on November 5th. So we'll have to see how he will fare in the match. Now, let me know y'all's thoughts on that. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next news. So apparently, an annoying family member, I don't know how to spell it, but one of the Rock and Roman Reigns family members believe Roman Reigns himself will defeat The Rock at WrestleMania 39. Roman Reigns is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and has been unbeatable for the last 2 years for a very long time now. Fans have been wondering when Roman Reigns and The Rock will battle each other at WrestleMania. In fact, even a member of the Anoa'i family, the NY family, believes Roman Reigns will beat The Rock. Many believe a match between the two top stars would become one of the greatest matches. One of the greatest matches in the history of WrestleMania. I thought I seen something. Despite all the hype, the match is still on the top of many fans' dream match lists. Roman Reigns even called out The Rock during a WWE live event, basically. And in fact, The Rock's WWE return is 100% in the plans. Definitely in the plans. While speaking with Bill Apter, Lance Anoa'i stated that he believes Roman Reigns will beat The Rock. It says here, and I quote, "That rumor, or that dream match, or whatever you want to call it, has been in the ears of everybody for a long time. Whatever it will continue to fruition, continue to come to fruition or not, who knows? But knowing WWE, they'll probably do whatever it takes to make it happen. I would pick Roman. I feel that he has the youth, the strength, and the time to decide to fans of the Wrestling Federation." End quote. It should be noted that Ringside News, my sources exclusively reported that The Rock is a virtual lock for WrestleMania 39. It remains to be seen when the company will book that feud between the two. Are you guys excited about the match? I know I am. Sound off in the comments. Now, there's some news on a huge title match announced for next week's Raw. The November the 7th edition of Monday Night Raw is set to take place from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. The Megan Sun Arena will host the show. Now, it will be the first Raw to be held in the arena in over 5 years. Therefore, a huge title match was announced for the fans in attendance. The Morgan Sun Arena is promoting a triple threat match for the United States Championship between Matt Riddle, Bobby Lashley, and Seth Rollins. Given that WWE has yet to officially announce this match, it's likely that this will be a dark match for the fans in attendance. Apart from this match, no other match was advertised for show yet. However, Bianca, Belair, Asuka, Liz, Kevin Owens, Johnny Gargano, Austin Theory, and Damage Control are all being advertised by Morgan Sun Arena for Raw next week, which will be this week coming up. Now, WWE usually announces its card for Raw a few days before the show. Next week's episode of Raw will be the first show following WWE's Crown Jewel Premium Live event. Hence, fans can expect to witness the fallout from the show to take place on Raw next week. Now, one of the biggest storylines on the Red brand has been the feud between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Lashley even stated recently that he expects their rivalry to continue after WWE Crown Jewel. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what WWE has in store for next week. What's y'all's take on this story? Let me know. Next news we have is on Sasha Banks and Naomi. So apparently, Banks and Naomi were pulled out of virtual festival amid WWE return rumors. Sasha Banks and Naomi were the women's tag team champions when they were walked out on WWE. They walked out on WWE during a previous episode of Raw. The duo have since arrived in a major way, but that doesn't mean fans are ruling out their return to the company under Triple H's leadership. Even I'm not ruling out their return under Triple H's leadership. I think they're going to return before Survivor Series, in my honest opinion. I've been saying that for months now. Sasha Banks and Naomi are advertised for the upcoming virtual festival on Saturday, November 12th. According to event organizers, the duo will no longer be appearing at the event due to an unforeseen scheduling conflict. It says here, and I quote, "The notification is a Vulture Festival event update. Due to an unforeseen scheduling conflict, Mercedes Renato, Sasha Banks, she's one of my favorite female talents. I don't know if you guys know. But it continues to say here that due to an unforeseen scheduling conflict, Mercedes Renato and Trinity Badu are no longer able to participate in their event on Saturday, November 12th at 8 p.m. We will go ahead and refund your purchase automatically. Please respond to this email if you prefer to exchange for another virtual festival ticket. We appreciate your understanding customer service. Fox Media, the modern media company," end quote. This comes amid rumors of their return to WWE. Banks have been teasing her in-ring return for quite some time now. The boss was recently spotted hanging out with the WWE crew during their Mexico Live event. My sources ringside news exclusively reported that the WWE creative isn't talking about Sasha Banks' return to the company. It remains to be seen if Triple H is interested in bringing Boss Whoa to WWE once again. What is y'all's take on this story? Apparently, there's news on Tyler Breeze. There's some news on Tyler Breeze, guys. Finally, I never thought I'd see the light of day where I'd see news on Tyler Breeze. So it's apparent is that Tyler Breeze, he's actually claiming to be retired from in-ring action. it doesn't specifically say he's retired from professional wrestling, but in-ring action. Tyler Breeze was one of the most prominent stars in NXT during his days on the Black Gold brand. He picked up a notable victory over Joaquin Thunder Liger. However, his transition to the main roster wasn't as successful. While he found some level of success as part of Breezango, his singles career continued to flounder until he was released in June 2021. Since his release, Tyler Breeze hasn't really wrestled a single match. However, he still remains a part of the wrestling business as he is running a wrestling school with current AEW star Shawn Spears during an appearance on the Sessions with Renee Paquette. Shawn Spears mentioned that Breeze considers his in-ring career to be over. He says here, and I quote, "There will be times we'll hop in the ring and have 25 minutes. We just did that a couple of weeks ago with the Guns, just at the scope to get some cardio in." He goes on to say he can still go. He still does. He still does everything. But I say to him, "Hey man, getting ready for school or for a second run? Getting ready for a second run?" He goes, "Nah, I'm retired, so I don't know." That's the true answer. But I see the excitement sometimes when he actually hopped in. End quote. During the same interview, Shawn Spears also said that he hopes Breeze isn't done with wrestling because he is so passionate about the business. He also noted that it's just a matter of the right opportunity. So we'll have to wait and see if the right opportunity presents itself to Breeze. Do you guys think Breezango will return to the ring? Let me know. Next news I have is on Raquel Rodriguez. It's not really that serious. The news ain't really that important, but I'm going to go over it anyway. Just in case you're wondering where Raquel Rodriguez has been, she hasn't been on SmackDown the last 2 weeks. Raquel Rodriguez apparently switched up her new look with surprising new hair color. Raquel Rodriguez was one of the highlights of NXT television, where she eventually became the NXT Women's Champion. She helped loyal the women's division in the developmental brand as well. She is known for her imposing figure, and now it seems she decided to change up her look in a bad way. Rodriguez was eventually called up to the main roster on Friday Night SmackDown. So far, she has found some measure of success on the main roster. The Latina star took her Instagram and uploaded a photo of herself showing off her new hairstyle. In the process, she compared it to Bluebell Ice Cream's Rainbow Sherbet. It says here, and I quote, "Looking like a fresh pint of Bluebell Ice Cream's Rainbow Sherbet." End quote. Rodriguez is also speculated to be involved in the OC and Judgment Day's feud, so we have to wait and see what is next in store for Rodriguez and what color her hair is along the way. I'm getting ready to show you this Instagram post photo of Raquel Rodriguez's hair. Be prepared, you guys are probably gonna fall off your seats for this one. I guarantee you are. Guarantee you're gonna be falling off the seats for this one, man. This is gonna shock some of you guys. I'm telling you right now. Here we go. Get ready. Get ready, because up on my laptop, it should be up on the screen eventually. It should eventually be up. It should legitimately be on the screen eventually. Should be popping up any minute now. Wait for it. Wait for it, guys. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. There she is, guys. Hold on, I gotta fix the quality though. There she is, guys. Check it out. So that is her new hair color for now, I'm guessing. Because this is what she posted on Instagram. Yes, that is a image of Raquel Rodriguez in her new hair color. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the live chats right now. Please, I would appreciate it. Now that I got the whiff. Okay, now that I got that over with, now that I showed you guys that, now we can move on to the next news here. So apparently, there's news on Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. So Bray Wyatt's Uncle Howdy character has interesting inspiration. It says here that Bray Wyatt made his return to WWE at the Extreme Rules Premium Live event last month, and it has many fans riled up since his return. He's been tormented, a menacing figure in a strange mask. The only thing we know about this character so far is that his name is Uncle Howdy. I already know who's under that mask. Bo Dallas. On the October 28th episode of SmackDown, Uncle Howdy finally let the world know who he is. He's Bo Dallas. Clearly, Bo Dallas is under that mask. We know he is. Look at the earrings. The earrings look similar to Bo Dallas' earrings. They look alike. They look like the same earrings. Legitimately, I wouldn't be surprised if they are. He probably switched his earring up. It still looks the same. We know it's you. We know it's him. He might as well take off that Uncle Howdy mask and reveal himself. But anyways, while Wyatt was in the midst of addressing his inner demons, Uncle Howdy suddenly popped up on the tights run and warned Wyatt that he could never hide. He could never hide from his Uncle Howdy, basically. Fans have been curious to know about more of his mysterious character. The Wrestling Observer newsletter shed some light on the inspiration for this new angle. This is what they said. They said here, and I quote, "The new Captain Howdy character that Wyatt introduced this week on SmackDown is from the 1982 movie Hysterical by the Hudson brothers. Richard Kill, the 7'2" giant who was best known as Jaws in James Bond movies, including a spy who loved me, played the role of Captain Howdy." End quote. Bray Wyatt is known for his over-the-top theatrics and eccentric characters such as his monster alter ego, The Fiend. It's interesting to see where he might go with the Uncle Howdy character. Bray Wyatt is slated to appear in Saudi Arabia, which he did. He did appear in Saudi Arabia Saturday. We've seen Uncle Howdy in the flesh for the first time. What is y'all's thoughts on Uncle Howdy, as a matter of fact? Let me know. So there's some WWE Saturday Night News on WWE planning to mix themed premium live events. So Triple H is undoubtedly a veteran in the pro wrestling world, and he is responsible for a variety of changes in WWE. He was appointed as the creative head of the company when Vince McMahon retired back in July. To adhere to Triple H's new guidelines, a huge number of changes have been made, including plans to mix themed premium live events. As previously reported, Triple H will be nixing the Hell in a Cell premium live event. In fact, he is also likely going to nix Money in the Bank as a standalone premium live event as well. According to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was reported that WWE plans on mixing all themed premium live events going forward. It says here, and I quote, regarding rumors of concept changes and pay-per-views next year, the only thing we were told, oh, hold on. Shoot. Dang. What happened? I gotta pull it back up, guys. Apparently it came off by mistake. I gotta pull it back up. Jeez. Wasn't even done. I hate when it's that. Anyways, it says here, and I quote, regarding rumors of concept changes and pay-per-views next year, the only thing we were told was, as a general rule, there will be less themed pay-per-views. The story going around, as an example, is that no show will be designated Hell in a Cell for an example months ahead of time. But that the Hell in a Cell match will be used not on a specifically planned date, but when a storyline feud reached the point that a Hell in a Cell match was needed. But even that in specific wasn't confirmed. Past the story could be accurate, as Paul Levesque is trying to shape a new course and a new presentation, and he wants to basically forge ahead, not in copying Vince McMahon, but in his own direction. End quote. So we will have to wait and see how Triple H changes the overall product. Fans are certainly very excited about the current era of WWE as well. If anything, this opens up a lot of possibilities to insert those themed gimmick matches in other premium live events throughout the year. Are you guys glad about this change? Let me know in the live chat. There's some news on the Shinsuke Nakamura versus Great Muta match. Apparently, WWE is placing restrictions on Shinsuke Nakamura versus Great Muta match. Shinsuke Nakamura became a household name in New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he was the king of strong style and taunted as one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. He's also set to face another Japanese legend in the Great Muta's final singles match. However, WWE is placing restrictions on that match as well. It was recently announced that Shinsuke Nakamura will square off against the Great Muta at the Noah New Year show on January 1st, 2023. Fans are very excited about this match as well. This is something Vince McMahon rejected months ago. But things changed when Triple H took the company's creative direction. According to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, it was reported that WWE will be placing restrictions on Nakamura's upcoming huge match. It says here, and I quote, WWE is allowing Shinsuke Nakamura to wrestle Muta on the January 1st Pro Wrestling Noah show at Budokan. Well, it's notable they are allowing him not only to wrestle, but for Noah to stream the show live on Ibima. There is a precedent. There's a precedent in the sense that basically WWE allowed Kenta to compete on a Noah show on September 1st, 2018 on their contract with them. But generally, this hasn't been allowed. Although they are allowed to air the match, that doesn't mean WWE is letting Noah go all out with things. It was also noted that there are restrictions made regarding Noah promoting the event outside Japan and in English. Noah is allowed to do promo video and match graphic, which was released press release with his name on it, and there are other restrictions in place, including not being allowed to mention WWE anywhere else. End quote. No, I'm just joking. But Triple H also reached out to know about the match, so I guess we'll have to wait and see how the match will turn out to be. What's y'all's take on Nakamura face of Buddha? I'm just curious. Let me know. Okay, the next news we have is on WWE CEO Nick Khan signing new long-term contract. That's your next WWE Saturday Night News, guys. So apparently Nick Khan guided WWE through a crucial phase, helping the company secure a number of significant business deals before joining WWE as a exclusive. Khan represented the company throughout its current television rights deal with Fox and NBC Universal. Mick has signed a new long-term deal with the company. Dave Meltzer reported in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the deal was signed on October the 19th that runs until August 15, 2025. The terms of the deal include a base salary of, wow, look at that, $1,350,000 per year. Jesus Christ. There are more components to his companionship package. Wow, man. That's a lot of money. Khan will get $3,575,000 in stock grants per year, as well as $160,000 annual target bonus. Khan received $15 million in stock when he joined WWE in 2020. As company president since then, he swiftly rose to become one of the most powerful players in the pro wrestling industry. Following Vince McMahon's resignation earlier this year, he now served as CEO with Stephanie McMahon. Let's see how Nick handles this contract to get the latest updates. Yeah, folks. Let's see. Let's see. Notice the way I'm saying. Let's see how Nick Khan handles this contract. As if anybody cares to hear that. I mean, come on. All right, guys. Next news we have is on Mia Yim. So apparently, WWE is still interested in bringing back Mia Yim. Mia Yim is not coming back to WWE. She will be signed with AEW. She is going to sign to AEW, in my honest opinion. I don't know why, because her husband's there. That's why. When the husband goes to a wrestling promotion, the wife goes to the same wrestling promotion as the husband. When the husband goes somewhere, the wife goes with him. That's what they say. WWE brought back a few people that the company released over the past few years. Triple H seems to be reversing as many of those mistaken releases that he can. Now, Mia Yim seems to be the next name on his list. Mia Yim, there's no way his name is on it. There's no way her name is on his list. No way. Mia Yim spent 5 months with. I don't even want to say it, man. I don't even want to say it. I really don't. Somebody just left the chat because they don't want me to say it, man. I know I don't want to say it. Trust me, I don't. It's one of the worst wrestling promotions ever. Mia Yim spent 5 months with Impact Wrestling. Nobody watches Impact. Nobody gives a shit about Impact. But she wrote up her time with the company after Bound for Glory. Since then, the pro wrestling world hasn't heard much from her. According to Sean Ross, sat behind Fightful's paywall. WWE has interest in bringing back yet another female wrestler who was released during the pandemic, and that is Mia Yim. It says here, and I quote, WWE has interest in bringing Mia Yim back to the company. Yim was released by WWE in November 2021 after a run on WWE Raw as Reckoning and being swiped between brands without hearing anywhere. So then Sean Ross Sapp goes on to say Yim actually didn't wrestle any match for 5 months while being parked by WWE and having her non-compete run out, end quote. Mia Yim's last run on the WWE main roster did not go according to plan. And again, Triple H wasn't booking her either. So we'll have to see how things turn out next time around. But Mia Yim might get another shot in WWE. Who knows? I think she's going to AEW because Keith Lee's there. When the husband goes to a wrestling promotion, the wife goes to the wrestling promotion with him. Where do you think Maria Kanellis end up going? Where did you think Mike Kanellis end up going? They both end up going to the same brand. So if Keith Lee's there, then Mia Yim's going to be there. Same with Aleister Black. When his contract expires, you know he's going to go back to WWE because that's where his wife Selena Vega is. Think about it. Once Andrade's El Idolo's contract expires, you know he's going to go back to WWE because his wife Charlotte Flair is there. When a husband goes to a wrestling promotion, the wife goes with him. It's that simple. It's that simple, dude. What's y'all's take on WWE bringing back Mia Yim? Let me know. They're not bringing her back. She's not going back there. She's going to AEW. That's my prediction of where she's going. Now, next I have some news on Stone Cold Steve Austin. So apparently WWE believes that Stone Cold Steve Austin would wrestle another WrestleMania match. I'm not so sure about that. I think Stone Cold should stay retired. I think that would be the smartest idea right now. I'm just saying. Now, the WWE Hall of Famer, Stone Cold Steve Austin, is regarded as one of the best pro wrestlers to have ever competed inside the squared circle. Austin returned to the ring on the first night of WrestleMania 38 in April 2022. WWE believes Austin would wrestle another WrestleMania match. As Ringside News previously reported, the possibility of one more match for the Texas Rattlesnake is not dead. There is no actual confirmation that Austin will wrestle again. It's only that WWE seems to believe he could be open to the idea. WrestleVotes has now provided a follow-up to the previous report. According to a source, Austin would finally listen to any proposal for WrestleMania. However, no one is certain about what decision he would take. It says here, and I quote, "I'll follow up on this. Source believes Austin would defiantly listen to any proposal for this year's Mania. Me nor the rest of the world knows what his answer would be. However, Stone Cold Steve Austin was last seen in WrestleMania 38 where he defeated Kevin Owens in a surprisingly solid no-holds-barred match. So we'll have to see when Austin returned to WWE television. He's never returning. He's staying retired. Do you guys want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin again at WrestleMania? No, I don't. We seen him years ago. It's enough we seen him years ago. Really? Give me a break. It's time to start seeing younger talent at WrestleMania. That's just me. Now, the next news we have It's on Triple H planning a Kevin Owens-like main roster debut for Grayson Waller. So Kevin Owens made his debut on Monday Night Raw against John Cena in 2015. Owens was also the NXT champion at that time. He made his shocking debut on Raw by answering John Cena's United States Championship Open Challenge. Triple H loves recreating history, and it seems he will be doing just that with Grayson Waller. Fans were certainly elated at his debut and gave a huge pop. Yep. She gave a huge pop. A very, very, very huge pop. So, but Triple H loves recreating history. He seems like he will be doing that, just that with Grayson Waller. I was watching something on TV. It kind of got my attention a little bit. Fans were certainly elated at his debut and gave it a huge pop. Owens drops Cena during their confirmation. I like to call it confrontation instead of confirmation. I'm going to say confirmation. Like, seriously. I mean, confrontation. I got to hurry up and get off of here, man, because I don't even know what I'm saying now. And then stomped on the U.S. title while holding up his NXT Championship. He ended up defeating John Cena in his main roster debut as well. I'm not getting stuff right now because I'm tired. My eyes are tired and my mouth is a little tired. Grayson Waller is currently one of the top heels in NXT and finds it easy to generate heel heat. While speaking with Give Me Sport, WrestleVote stated that Triple H is planning a Kevin Owens-like main roster debut for Grayson Waller. It says here, and I quote, this is what WrestleVote said. WWE really likes Grayson Waller and really ceasing in him. He may stay down in NXT just so they can try to figure out something big for him, like Kevin Owens coming in and beating John Cena. They like him a lot, so that's one guy that they're going to try to do something serious with, end quote. We will have to wait and see when Grayson Waller will get called up to the main roster. If anything, his ability to get heat on the microphone cannot be downplayed. He is also improving every week in the ring. Oh, really? Last time I checked, he wasn't, but okay. The future certainly looks bright for the young star. Let's hope so. What's y'all's take on this kind of push for Grayson Waller? All right, moving on to the next WWE Saturday Night News here. This one is on Sasha Banks. I don't care if Sasha Banks has a nose ring. She still looks good. She still looks beautiful as hell. She still got good looks. Hella good looks still. Now, Sasha Banks, apparently, she actually teases a massive upcoming date in a new video. So, a couple of months ago, Sasha Banks shocked the world when she decided to walk out WWE along with her tag team partner Naomi. Since then, they haven't been mentioned on WWE television until Extreme Rules. This gave way to speculation that Sasha Banks and Naomi may be heading back to WWE. They are. They'll be back for SummerSlam, I know that. The rumors have only picked up speed recently since Sasha Banks posted a video on her Instagram stories saying that a date is coming that she's been waiting for the last 6 months. It says here, and I quote, this is what Sasha Banks said. She says here, and I quote, as time passes, listen up, guys, it's important for the Sasha Banks fans and stains to hear in the community. I'm a fan of Sasha Banks too myself. Now, as time passes, there's been so much growth and there's been so much beautiful opportunity and a journey that I've been loving. But as the time also goes on, the date is coming that I've been waiting for. Past 6 months. And I can't wait. But I'm really going to make most of this November to make all my dreams happen in preparation for the date that I've been waiting for. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys come along for this journey. But you know, a lot of you have been with me for so long. Thank you. But I want you to know there's going to be something so fucking crazy coming. End quote. Many fans are speculating as to what this special date could be, with many suggesting a WWE return. Then again, this could be a non-wrestling related announcement or a giant trolling video message. You never know. Banks does mention that she has been waiting for this date for the past 6 months, which matches the time frame she walked out of WWE. I guess we'll have to wait to see what this special date could mean for the boss. I think it could mean her return. That's what I think. Her return to WWE. Given that they just said it matches the time frame of the day she walked out of WWE. Interesting development there. Wow. Interesting. You guys looking forward to Sasha Banks' return to WWE? Let me know. All right, next news we have is on WWE booking World Cup and more for SmackDown. Next week, WWE determined the best in the world for a World Cup tournament at the inaugural Crown Jewel Premium Live event in 2018. The company is bringing back the matchup this week on SmackDown. The SmackDown World Cup will kick off during the November 11th, 2022 edition of the Blue Brand. 8 superstars participate in the single elimination tournament. As of this writing, the names have not been revealed. It says here, and I quote, the SmackDown World Cup begins next week. And quote, plus the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods will challenge the winners of the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match between defending champions and Usos, Brawling Brutes, next week on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, Shinsuke Nakamura will take on Santos Escobar of Legado del Fantasma next week on SmackDown as well. The card here for SmackDown is SmackDown World Cup, Undisputed Tag Team Championship match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Santos Escobar. That is the card for Friday Night SmackDown. What are y'all's thoughts on the card for SmackDown? Let me know. All right. So moving on to the last WWE Saturday Night news here. This one is on Bray Wyatt, on the Bray Wyatt SmackDown segment. So I got some news on Bray Wyatt segment. I got some news on the identity of the Strange Woman. So apparently the identity of the Strange Woman in Bray Wyatt's SmackDown segment was actually revealed. So Bray Wyatt made his return during the Extreme Rules Premium Live event and completely shocked everyone in attendance, of course. He has been featured regularly on the Blue Brand, cutting eerie promos to keep fans invested. Fans went crazy over his most recent segment. Seems people went crazy over nothing. As seen on last week's episode of Friday SmackDown, Bray Wyatt had a tense confrontation with a backstage crew member. It showed just how angry Wyatt could be. Thankfully, nothing happened. During the segment, a woman's face was shown on the screen for a split second. This made fans too crazy with speculation as to what it could be. In actuality, the image was taken from a stock video that can actually be found by looking on the internet. After doing a little reverse image searching, it wasn't hard to find out where that woman came from. The clip was shot by renowned professional photographer Sergey Ribanov, and can be Downloaded from Story Blocks. The woman in question has cosplayed for several of his stock videos. Fans also believe that's a lift. It's part of Bray Wyatt's angle. So we will have to wait and see how Wyatt will be booked in the coming weeks. What is y'all's thoughts on this story? Let me know. That is going to do it for your WWE Saturday Night News. Now, we're going to go over your AEW Saturday Night News. And we don't have much of it. I only got a little bit of it. We're going to start with the news on Tony Khan. Yes, folks, there's some news on Tony Khan. It's crawling on me, man. All right. So, it seems like Tony Khan. Apparently, Tony Khan is looking to expand AEW live calendar in 2023. Says here that AEW president Tony Khan has a lot of passion for professional wrestling. Things have not been going well for AEW for the past couple of months, rightfully so. The chaos that ensued after AEW All Out remains fresh in the minds of fans and pro wrestlers alike. Tony Khan is now considering expanding the number of live events. Jeff Jarrett was appointed Director of Business Development by AEW on Wednesday. Jarrett formerly held the role of Senior Vice President of Live Events at WWE. However, he was fired in August 2022 in an interview with Sports Illustrated's Justin Orasso. Khan discussed how AEW might increase the number of live events they host in 2023. It says here, and I quote, "Yes, it makes a lot of sense for AEW to expand our live calendar in 2023 and beyond. There are many places in the US and all over the world where AEW is very popular, and this is a strategic opportunity to expand. We also have Ring of Honor. There are a lot of exciting possibilities for us in live events, and Jeff has such extensive experience as a third-generation businessman and professional wrestler. He's got tremendous experience in a number of fields. And don't be scratching my back, it's itching." Tony Khan continues to say, including live event promotions, internationally distribution. His insight and knowledge are very valuable. And I'm excited to have Jeff join our great team, end quote. AEW now hosts at least one event per week on Wednesday with AEW Dynamite. In recent weeks, AEW Rampage episodes have gone live. The company also offers its quarterly pay-per-view events. AEW does not currently host non-televised house show events. Ring of Honor does not currently have television. So we'll have to wait and see how things change in AEW in 2023. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Let me know. All right, the next AEW Saturday Night News we have is on legitimacy of AEW All Out Brawl investigation. So apparently that investigation was called into question. So apparently AEW's All Out pay-per-view made plenty of headlines, but the brawl following the event's media scrum really stole the show. Now the dust is settling, and we're seeing the results of the investigation that followed. The ongoing investigation for the infamous backstage brawl between CM Punk and Elite after the All Out post-media scrum has now been questioned, according to a new report by PW Insider. Dave Scherer laid a ground assessment of the entire situation, labeling the entire investigation to be a farce on the basis of what he had seen and heard about the process. I really don't give a shit about this investigation no more. It's over. I mean, I'm gonna go over it with you guys. You guys care about it. I don't. Dave Scherer, whatever his name is, Dave Scherer, began by pointing towards a fact that the company being involved in such an investigation would absolutely interview everyone who actually witnessed the brawl between CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, and Ace Steel, who was recently released. Another important person who wasn't interviewed was Ace Steel's Lucy Guy, who at the time was watching CM Punk's dog area in the locker room. Lucy's interview being omitted from the mix was not received well by Karrion, who noted that talking to her would have offered a different opinion towards the entire situation, influencing the decision yet to be made by AEW President Tony Khan. Dave further stated that this is what maybe Tony Khan wanted for his company, saying that unless Guy and Steele were paid money to remain silent, the company's EVPs would not have been labeled as victims, as they could have been with either of their statements following their recollection of events according to them. Despite the entire controversy, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are reportedly on their way back to AEW television, while the best in the world, CM Punk, is reportedly negotiating a buyout of his contract. Moreover, Tony Khan has maintained complete silence on the situation, perhaps fearing legal concerns for his company. Do you guys think the Elite will return to AEW soon? Let me know. All right. Next AEW Saturday Night News we have is on AEW filming content for reality series backstage at AEW Rampage this week. So, AEW created a buzz in the wrestling world with its debut way back in 2019. The Jacksonville-based promotion has since introduced 2 weekly television shows as well as multiple TV specials and pay-per-view events. The company is also working on a new reality series that will document the lives of AEW performers behind the scenes. The series is being made for Warner Bros. Discovery, according to PW Insider. AEW officially kicked off production on a new series this week. Filming began this past Wednesday backstage on Dynamite in Baltimore. And more content will be filmed ahead of Rampage. That's what it said. So this was already done this was basically already done last Wednesday. Production began this week for a new AEW reality series that is being produced for Warner Bros. Discovery. PWInsider.com has confirmed. There was a camera crew filming talents backstage in Baltimore and Dynamite, and they are again filming backstage at Rampage in New Jersey. This was last week, of course. Ringside News was told the series will focus on the behind the scenes of AEW as seen through the experience of several talents that will be focal point of the series. There's no word when the series may debut. This is the second AEW reality TV project following Rose to the Top, which ran for a 6-episode first season in 2021. Tony Khan, AEW owner president, is serving as an exclusive producer on the show, with Sam Burns, exclusive producer of Shed Media, helping with the production as well. What's y'all's take on this story? Now, Ring of Honor World Title match and more was added to AEW Full Gear. I got some news on that. Got some AEW news on that, man. Chris Jericho added another title to his already impressive championship catalog when he beat Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World Championship during the Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite. He issued a huge challenge for Full Gear last week. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara responded to the Blackpool Combat Club's promo during Rampage last Friday night. For those who didn't watch, both Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson expressed their interest in challenging the Ocho for the title. Jekyll said he had something better in his mind, and that he would be defending the Ring of Honor World Championship against Claudio Castagnoli, Danielson, and Guevara in a fatal four-way match at Full Gear on November 19th, 2022. Plus, the Acclaim will defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships against Swerve and Our Glory at the upcoming pay-per-view event. Yes. My AEW Full Gear 2022 watch along will be live that day. So don't worry. I have you guys covered. And the review will be live too as well. So I have you guys covered. Now, here's the card for the upcoming pay-per-view. John Moxley will be defending his AEW World Championship against MJF. Toni Storm will be defending her AEW Interim Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter. Which I'm going for Jamie Hayter because I love Jamie Hayter. I still got a crush and a hit on Jamie Hayter to show you guys know. But anyways, I got an AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Acclaim will be defending those titles against Swerve in Our Glory. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, Swerve in Our Glory. I'd rather say bask in His glory than Swerve in Our Glory. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Chris Jericho defending his Ring of Honor World Championship in a fatal four-way match against Sammy Guevara, Danielson, and Claudio in the fatal four-way match. And we got the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament Finals. What's y'all's take on this story? That is the card for AEW Full Gear. AEW books 2 out of 3 Falls match and more for Dynamite. It's coming Wednesday. I got some news on that. So, as you all know, AEW will return to Boston, Massachusetts for the November the 9th, 2022 edition of Dynamite. The Jacksonville-based promotion added new matches, basically, to the card during Rampage. Now, hold on a second. Now, Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho cut a promo on the Blackpool Combat Club this week on Rampage. The Spanish God challenged the American Dragon to a 2 out of 3 Falls match. The bout was set for Dynamite. Plus, the World Championship Eliminator Tournament will kick off with a match between Eddie Kingston and Ethan Page on that show as well. The tournament finals will take place at the Full Gear pay-per-view event on November 9th, 2022. I already gave out the news on what's booked for Full Gear. I already gave out the news on the Ring of Honor heavyweight match being added to that card. The card for Dynamite this week. We got Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara in a 2 out of 3 Falls Count Anywhere match. The Acclaim and Edge Swerve and Our Glory and the Guns in an 8-man tag team. The Ethan Page in a World Title Eliminator Tournament quarterfinals match. Sky Blue versus Jamie Hayter. You know Jamie Hayter's winning that match. Jamie Hayter's slated to win, which is great because she is one of my favorites. Well, Jamie Hayter would visit North Carolina to see me. But anyways, Soraya and Dr. Britt Baker will be face to face, and we're gonna have a John Moxley promo. What is y'all's take on this story? Let me know. And the last AEW Saturday news I have for you guys is on Andrade El Idolo, man. So apparently Andrade El Idolo deletes a tweet about quitting AEW if he wanted to. This news is not really that serious, but it says here, given that Andrade has been wasted and buried and put in tight Karrion in AEW by Tony Khan, at the hands of Tony Khan. But it says here that Andrade El Idolo debuted in AEW last year after a disappointing run in WWE. Fans were simply happy to see the Mexican star in AEW and hoped for many great things for him. But it was not to be. He was involved in a lot of backstage drama last month. Now it seems he wants to remain with AEW. Seemingly wants to. Things have not been going well for AEW for the past couple of months. Andrade El Idolo was also involved in backstage altercation with Sammy Guevara. He was also actually sent home before AEW Dynamite, despite reports suggesting that he wants to leave AEW. El Idolo seemingly shut down those rumors in a down-deleted tweet. Idolo claimed that he quit AEW if he wanted to, despite everything that has been going on. He says here, and I quote, "Look, man, I'm a man, and if I wanted them to fire me, I'd quit, and I've never done it." End quote. Andrade El Idolo even made his way to AEW Dynamite to fight with Sammy Guevara. So we'll have to wait and see whether Andrade El Idolo will return to AEW television or not. What is y'all's take on what Andrade El Idolo said on Twitter? Let me know. If you guys have Twitter. I don't have Twitter. Good thing I don't have Twitter. I don't need it. Fuck Twitter. It's full of cesspool of fucking idiots on there. Especially the ones in the community. Anyway. I'm done. That's going to do it, guys, for your donating AEW Saturday Night News. You guys enjoyed me giving you your donating AEW Saturday Night News. Please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you do. Continue to support the IWN YouTube channel in any way you can. Even if it means sharing the stream to all social media platforms. Even if it means encouraging people to subscribe and join my watch-alongs and reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, my donating AEW Sunday Night News live stream will be live tonight. Today is Sunday. It's officially Sunday, guys. It's basically 12:09 p.m. If you haven't changed your clocks yet yesterday, now it's the time to change your clocks, because you got to change your clocks. You got to go back at least, I guess, either 1 or 2 hours. I don't know. But it is officially Sunday. So I'm getting the hell out of here, man. But don't forget to change your clocks, guys. If you didn't change your clocks yesterday, then you're not going to know what time it is. But I'm getting out of here. If you guys enjoyed my WWE 2022 Crown Jewel review, don't forget, again, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and make sure you are here in the live chat for my WWE and AEW Sunday Night News live stream. I don't think I'm doing anything this afternoon. I'm probably going to be streaming a few games this coming weekend. Because at some point I'm planning on buying PlayStation Plus back. Because I know Xenoverse 2 has some more DLC coming out. And I want to be able to stream Xenoverse 2 for you guys so you can see what I can do on there. And see how I'm able to help other players get their Z ranks and their paraquests and stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got a new week of content coming. I'm getting ready to start working on my AEW Full Gear thumbnail and background, and then I'm going to start working on my Dynamite thumbnail and background. Now I have Dynamite and Full Gear scheduled this week, because Full Gear is on November the 19th, so it'll be scheduled early. And then I may schedule an AEW Dark watch along. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Some of my favorite talents may be on Dark. If some of my favorite talents are on there, then I'm going to schedule an AEW Dark watch along. I may not be able to, because my job may be short on staff again Wednesday, and I may have to go walk all the way to work again, like I did last Wednesday. Last Wednesday was the second Wednesday in a row I had to cover somebody's shift. It's crazy. These jobs are getting crazy, man. I'm telling you. They really are. These jobs are something else. All these jobs are. All these jobs are something else. At least that's what I was told, but I knew that before I was told that. So, anyways. Well, guys, I'm getting the hell out of here, man. All I got to say is, to those of you that were in the live chat for my WWE Crown Jewel 2022 watch along, I just want to appreciate you guys for being there, and I appreciate you guys being here for my review, being here to listen to your WWE and AEW Sunday Night News. When it comes to WWE and AEW news, live streams. I always keep you up to date what's going on in world professional wrestling, and I'm going to continue to do that every single week and every single year. Now, I don't know. Something's biting me, man. Something's in here. You had that gut feeling that something's in your room? I got this gut feeling that something's in here, flying in here, biting me. Because, like, I got bumps all back here, dude. Like, something's biting me, man. I don't know what it is. All right, guys. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys in live chat. You'll see me here live on YouTube for your WWE and AEW Sunday Night News. See you guys in the live chat for that. Peace and stay safe always.